Legislation launched by Minnesota's 2nd District Congresswoman Angie Craig looks to require social media companies to block access to their platforms on K-12 campuses during school hours. Craig on the WCCO Morning News today with Vanita Sakar.
Right now, most of the responsibility is on the administrators and the teachers to take away the cell phones. This puts the responsibility where I think more responsibility needs to lie, and this is on the social media, big tech platforms themselves.
And a pair of Minneapolis restaurants are among the best 50 restaurants in America, according to the New York Times. They include Diane's Place, which was just named Restaurant of the Year by Food and Wine magazine, along with Boucheron, which was given the James Beard Award for Best New Restaurant. And Jason, I know this is something you've been following this afternoon.
Right,
a couple
yes.
of top Minneapolis restaurants, once again, getting some national exposure.
It is, the idea of naming 50 best restaurants in America is sort of a joke, right? Like, how do you even do that? There are 4 in Manhattan.
Right.
Now, I love Diane's Place. I think it should be on a list. I love Boucheron. Are you telling me those two are better than the top 20 restaurants in Manhattan? Probably not. But, you got to make a list.
You do. And
you can't just have it gets clicks.
It gets me reporting on it. Yeah.
It's good for these restaurants, and especially like Diane's Place has had such a great run of national publicity.
For sure.
And I love her and I love that restaurant. So it's pretty cool.
I do not see the Pizza Ranch in Iowa on that, unfortunately.
Not fair.
Maybe next year. I don't know.
Not fair. Let's have some fair and balanced.
I've refreshed a few times.
New York Times, you can't trust them. Fake news is what it is.
3:06, traffic and weather next.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
Rain across the metro. Got some wet roads out there to go along with it, obviously. If you're going to be traveling along 35W northbound, making your way out of Minneapolis, got a crash near Hennepin Avenue. Left lane shut down. It is slow as you come up from 94. 35 east slowing both directions between Highway 62 and I-94. 694 westbound as you approach Silver Lake Road. Crash off to the right. Traffic's already heavy there as you make way past Highway 10. You're going to find slowdowns north 169 pretty much from the crosstown up to Medicine Lake Road. Jerry Peterson, News Talk 830 WCCO.
With a well-designed will, trust, and estate plan, you can have peace of mind. Choose Matt Gutman of Gutman Law to give yourself peace of mind. Call him now, 612-895-1616 at gutmanlaw.com. Gutman Law, peace of mind today for tomorrow.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
And the weather is brought to you by Gutman Law, Wills Trust, and Probate Law. Visit gutmanlaw.com. Here's WCCO TV Chief Meteorologist Chris Schaefer.
Will be mostly cloudy overnight tonight, falling back to 62. Call it increasing sunshine tomorrow. Warming up to 75. That's about average this time of year. Thursday looks pretty awesome. Mostly sunny with a high up near 80, warming into the 80s, even getting a bit humid. Very summer-like Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
All right, thank you, Chris. Rain and 67 degrees. I'm Mark Fry, News Talk 830 WCCO.
Your Twitter feed won't take your calls, but we will. News Talk 830 WCCO. You're thinking about it. Jason's talking about it. There are no breaks on bold takes here. Buckle up. This is Drive Time with DeRusha. Now, live from Minnesota's biggest microphone, here's Jason DeRusha.
They're down at 5. Good protection over the middle. It's caught for a touchdown. Jefferson. McCarthy. Pass is caught, spinning grab by Aaron Jones. And somehow, some way, the Minnesota Vikings are on top. Thielen in motion. McCarthy keeps. He's got it. And forces his way into the end zone. Touchdown.
Unbelievable. The NFL is undefeated. It is the most entertaining sports broadcast and sports product in America. It's not even close. Welcome to Drive Time. Do you believe? Because I tell you what, I am all on the J.J. McCarthy train, and I was all off I had a moment, you know me, I'm optimistic. I'm cheering for our guys. And at the end of the first half, there was a nice drive by J.J. McCarthy. But I felt like most of our luck in that game was set up by sort of questionable penalties. So I will invite my fellow Vikings fans to remember this game when we complain about being screwed by the refs, because there was a big pass interference call that set up the first field goal that I thought was iffy. There was a roughing the passer call that was roughish, the passer, but it didn't matter. The beauty of what happened yesterday is a literal child dug deep into his soul, found motivation, found inspiration, struggled but didn't get down. I loved everything about it. And I am setting myself up to be disappointed. I don't want to lose my mind about this because, Minnesota Vikings. And, man, that was fun. 651-461-9226. Are you on board? And are you sharing my nerves? So Alyssa and I were watching, and Dan, you were watching the game yesterday as well. You were tweeting some negativity. There was some negativity from you.
So
here we go.
No. Yes, but with a surreptitious motive. Because one of the things that I find so entertaining is I'm waving to one of our listeners across the street. UCell is over there.
Nice.
One of the things I find most entertaining about the Vikings games is the way people absolutely lose their mind on social media. Just the life or deathness of it. So I sort of poked at that bear just because I enjoy watching that hornet's nest explode. And there was ample opportunity in the first 3 quarters of that football game for that hornet's nest to be all over the place. And then the game could not have taken a harsher 180-degree turn in the fourth quarter, at least for Bears fans, than it did. That was just an incredible turnaround. And to this moment, I have no idea how the Vikings managed to win that game. They were so dead in the water for 3 quarters that to turn it around, they should have been down 3 scores easily. And they weren't, and they capitalized in the fourth quarter.
And you sort of felt like they were never out of it. And Alyssa and I were sitting watching the game, and Alyssa's like, boy, that pick six is really, that's really going to come back to haunt you. I'm like, come on, Alyssa. This is this kid's very first NFL game. If he gets out of this game with 1 interception, for me, that was pretty good. That feels like that was pretty good. Now, I was more concerned about the fact that our defensive pass rush in the first half was non-existent. And every time our defense tried to tackle the Chicago Bears quarterback, he seemed to evade us.
Yes.
And you're like, oh, no. Like, I did not expect J.J. McCarthy to score 1 rushing touchdown and have 2 passing touchdowns. I thought we would be, if we got out of there with a 10-6 win led by the defense for a first game of a 22-year-old, like, come on. I felt like that was great.
And of course, one of the most epic parts of any Vikings victory. Twins victories come almost as often as Vikings victories do these days. If any Vikings victory is the post-game speech by Kevin O'Connell, in which he highlighted young J.J. McCarthy and his poise.
The Vikings left everything we have out on that football field. All right. So if there was any question in your minds about this football team and dealing with adversity within this locker room, within our building, you think that invisible presence is invisible now? None of this happens. This feeling that we have right now does not happen without one other guy. All right? Did not go the way any of us wanted. This guy, all right, I could tell from the jump, he was poised. He was poised. But this guy didn't quit me, and you always thought he would figure it out. 2 passing touchdowns and a rushing touchdown all in the second half.
I think my favorite thing is this comment that J.J. McCarthy, again, first game, every time they showed him on TV, I thought, this is our hope? Just looked like a child. And then after the game, you hear about the time where he's in the huddle.
So Aaron Jones was on a podcast talking about that. We have that cut here.
It was a moment that stuck out to me. It was in either late third, early fourth. We were still down, and JJ runs in the huddle, and he after a TV timeout, he looks at us and he's like, "Is there any place else you guys would rather be?" I'm like,
"That's what he said."
That's what he said.
I got goosebumps.
And we was still down. We was down. We haven't really caught our momentum yet, and I'm like, wow, like this. And I've been telling people he's different up here, but that to me that showed gratitude and presence. Like, be present where your feet are.
What a great thing for all of us to take away, right? I mean, part of what I love about sports is because you have a defined field of competition, you do get these sort of lessons about perseverance, about struggle, about leadership when you're down. And when you're down, and it was not looking good after a rather inept third quarter.
And nothing went well.
To say to your guys, where else would you rather be? It gives me goosebumps. And I'm just a regular fan. I'm not even like a lunatic fan, you know? It was awesome.
JJ brought it up post game and was asked a little bit about it. Here's what that sounded like.
I was mentioning to the guys in the huddle when we were down, like, where else would you rather be? So I feel like, we did a great job, and this team showed a lot of poise and responded very well.
JJ, you said the comment in the huddle, where would you rather be? Aaron mentioned the same thing. Have you always had that mentality in the huddle, or is that something that just came over you tonight?
I've never actually said that before, but I feel like it was at the perfect time. Guys were kind of, just in their head a little bit. And I feel like if you could, a smile goes a long way. So there was a lot of smiles after I said that, and just a little bit of a perspective shift. Yeah, things weren't going our way, but we're here doing this together. And the boys, they responded perfectly.
I mean, what are you doing to motivate your teammates today, right?
What were you doing to motivate your teammates with, 22? 22.
I don't know. Pretty fun. This is why we watch. This is why we love it. Now you can look and say, all right, is this about the Bears kind of maybe not being that good? Maybe they didn't improve the way we thought. I don't know, man. Like, the Bears look pretty dang good in the first 3 quarters. To have a quarterback on his very first NFL game. Now, look, there are going to be hiccups along the way. You
saw several of them last night.
Yeah. I'm not ready to say, like, all right, I don't see any losses on the calendar. Like, it's going to be a rough go. You are going to see, well, maybe not, but I would think
there will be adversity there.
You're going to see some rookie quarterback mistake.
Yeah, that pick six, that was an ugly throw. I mean, just flat out. It was just an ugly throw. And there was some happy feet early on, and you could tell he was a little confused by what the Bears were showing him. And, sure. It was what you would expect for the guy the first time he's stepping on a field when the bullets are live, right? You can talk about preseason, you can talk about
and we didn't do anything.
Shared practices, and you can do all that kind of stuff.
It's all
but until you're on the field in a regular season game, you just don't know what that's like. And it took him a bit, but he adjusted. You never saw panic from him. You certainly never saw panic from the head coach. And maybe that's the part of this that we haven't talked enough about yet, was the coach sticking with him and pumping him up and keeping him, focused on in the game. But then to have a poise to do something like that, the times you saw him on the sidelines getting psyched up for the 59-yard field goal, and the way he reacted to his teammates, the way he reacted after that pick six, after that ugly throw, you saw the stuff that the Vikings have been talking about and praising in terms of J.J. McCarthy all preseason long. You saw that translate. Now, how does that work for the next 16 games? We'll see.
J.J. McCarthy was born 2 months before I moved to Minneapolis.
How you feeling?
I don't know, man. Like, I feel like, where else would I rather be today?
Right?
How do you not feel that way? 651-461-9226. Lots of text coming in. I'll share some of your thoughts on last night's Vikings game. Tracy Perlman joining us to talk ego of TV versus radio people. A hot debate. Vanita got started on the morning show today. I was listening to just before 9 a.m. We'll weigh in on that as we continue here on Drive Time.
This is Drive Time with DeRusha on News Talk 830 WCCO.
All right, the rain is falling here in downtown Minneapolis, and it is a reminder that this time of year, even though so many of us are thinking it's time to close the door on our landscaping, close the door on our outside entertainment, I say not so much. Not so much. It's Jason here for my friends at Professional Turf, Pro Turf. Because fall is absolutely one of the best times of the year to plant shrubs, trees, and perennials. The weather is cooler. It's ideal for root development for all plants. And believe me, there is plenty of time for new plantings to establish and survive our winter. The other benefit of reaching out at professionalturf.com is that right now you can beat the spring rush. Everybody's like redoing their paver patio or their landscape retaining walls or their driveways. They're doing all of that stuff right now. They're thinking about it. They do it in the spring. You do it now. ProTurf can create any design you want. They'll get it installed before the season ends. They'll work on those hardscape projects that I was talking about way after the planting season is over until the ground freezes solid. So now is the time to make the call or visit the website to sweeten the deal. They're offering a special limited time, so you got to act. Free 6-foot Colorado spruce or a free 2-inch sugar maple tree with any project of $4,000 or more. So let's go. 952-469-8680 or go to the website, professionalturf.com.
Heading out for the weekend? Lucky you.
Don't forget to stop at Thielen Meats of Pierce for some melt-in-your-mouth moments.
High-quality beef.
Fresh and smoked sausages and brats.
Home-smoked bacon.
All-natural chicken.
A great selection of fish and seafood.
Visit us at thielenmeats.com.
We've got the cuts that'll make your meal.
Call to order ahead and pick up on your way to the lake.
You'll be the hit of the party.
No meal's complete without Thielen Meats
of Pierce.
I'm Karen Heinz with Baird Private Wealth Management. For many of us, life is busy. Balancing family, career, friends, and community, plus finding the time and focus to keep your family's financial plan on track can be a challenge. At Baird, we understand. Our advisors partner with you to create a financial plan that's uniquely yours, one that gives you peace of mind and confidence so you can focus on what matters most. Discover the Baird difference. Visit BairdTwinCities.com.
My doctor told me my cholesterol is borderline, so I took control with Garlic Healthy Cholesterol Formula. Garlic helps maintain healthy cholesterol safely and naturally. It's odor and taste-free, and Garlic is a world leader in garlic potency. I'm taking charge of my cholesterol with Garlic Healthy Cholesterol Formula, cholesterol's natural enemy.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. The term natural references only the garlic in the product. Use as directed.
Staples presents That Was Easy.
Big year. I'm starting middle school.
Welcome to the jungle, Missy.
Best part? My parents promised me a new laptop.
Perfect for homework, essays, and drudgery.
So we went to Staples. They had all the latest tech, and laptops were up to 40% off.
Woo! Another back-to-school budget saved by Staples Easy Button.
Mom high-fived the cashier. So embarrassing.
Staples.
That was easy.
In-store, online, and on the app. Ins 9/13. Select models only.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products or compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/joy to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments including pills, chews, and more. 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy, HIMS.com/JOY.
You're listening to Drive Time with DeRusha. Video streaming live on YouTube and always, and I mean always, on your radio at News Talk 830 WCCO.
I mean, Adam Thielen dropped one. There was a moment where I'm like, oh man, our provincial need to have one of us back on the team. But he came through. He did all right.
Big 2-point conversion reception.
2-point conversion. That was important. I don't know. It was just fun. Like it was fun to see. It was fun to see JJ kind of get out and play after so long of wondering, like, all right, is this guy going to be any good?
He had the number. It was over 600 days since he had been in a
600 days.
Yeah.
Wow.
The national championship game that he played
I
in
do
Michigan.
think that there is a different type of competition. There's a different level that certain people are able to get to. And I think a lot of us who are, those of you who are school teachers or plumbers or whatever, and you're like, why do these athletes, like, why do they make so much? Why do they? Well, first of all, I'll say, I think it's a very rare mindset to be able to deal with getting your butt kicked with absolute nothing going your way and be able to find another gear in yourself and then turn it around. Most of us can't. Most of us, when your day goes to crap, you don't sort of rally.
You shut her down.
You shut it down. It is just, and I'm not blaming you for it, but I'm just saying, like, it is an unusual person who can do that. And then why do they get paid what they get paid? Because it was so entertaining. They are entertainers.
Billions and billions of dollars. Yes.
Heck of a game last night, says one texter. Another texter says the game was more about the Bears self-destructing than the Vikings winning. Screw that attitude. Like, so stupid. Like, every game is a combination of somebody else screwing up and you taking advantage of it. And there's no negative that you took advantage of someone else melting down. And maybe they melted down because you were playing better.
Maybe, but even if it was just strictly the Bears shooting themselves in the foot.
Yep.
The Vikings still had to make plays to score.
Exactly. Phil is in Woodbury on the CCO Talking Text line. Hey, Phil.
Hey, Jay. How you doing, buddy?
I'm flying high. I'm feeling good.
Hey, thanks for taking my call. I know I called yesterday about the cabin stuff, but you know what? Last night, now I know your woman's name, Alyssa, and my woman's name is Linda, but you know what? We were at Mystic Lake. They had a new bar and grill called the Hop House,
Yeah. It's beautiful.
And they had I know, it was a gorgeous place. And we had this VIP upstairs event just for us, for VIP people. And they were showing us big screens, like just movie theater on. It was phenomenal. And then when the place was literally packed, and it went nuts. I mean, when the Vikings came back, it just went nuts.
Yeah. It is good. It is the one thing I think, and I say this about sports a lot, that sports, in a time when many of us are very polarized and we feel like we live on different planets, this does bring people together. It really does.
I mean, sports does. You're right. It does brings a lot of warmth and joy, especially when the Vikings are winning.
Yeah, pretty good. Thanks, Phil. I'm glad you got the VIP experience. I mean, Phil deserves it. It's pretty good. Never out of it, because in B-Flow I trust. I was a little nervous about the defense, weren't you, in the first half, Dan?
Oh, for sure. I think I sent out a tweet at some point saying, hey, that vaunted Brian Flores defense did make the trip, didn't they?
Yeah.
Because they weren't showing it early on.
All aboard the train, says a texter. Yeah, I mean, why not?
This is a classic Minnesota Vikings fan text. This is quintessential. It doesn't matter. They'll go one game into the playoffs and we'll be cut out at the knees. That is so Minnesota Vikings, and I get it. I truly do get it.
This is part, you sometimes have like a little bit of this in yourself, right? Like a little bit of protecting yourself from the disappointment.
There's a little bit of that, although what I've tried to learn over the course of time, and it varies in terms of my success level, is that, it's cliche, but it truly is a journey, right? If you set your happiness level as, did we win the Super Bowl, then only one fan base a year gets to be happy and everybody else has to be miserable by that standard, right? So if you just enjoy the ride, if you enjoy the stories that come along the way, then however it finishes out is however it finishes out, you can still absolutely enjoy a Minnesota Vikings football season. If you hang your hopes on success in the playoffs, there's a lot of scar tissue there, and trust me, I get it.
Enjoy the ride. My expectations, I am not expecting a 14-win year.
No.
It's a rookie quarterback. I'm expecting a little more today than I was yesterday. They won. Let's celebrate the win, says a texter. JJ looked great in the fourth quarter. We should have something to look forward to. I think that's right. And we look forward to next Sunday night. Next game.
Think of, you're playing your first game in the NFL, and it's the only game on national television.
In your hometown.
And then the following week, Sunday Night Football, the only game on national television. Good luck, kid.
He didn't seem too rattled by the stage.
He seemed a little rattled early on.
At the beginning, understandably.
He got it together.
When did he play?
He got it together. He got it together, and that's the biggest thing. But, man, that's a lot.
Rattled, or is it this? My thought, what I thought we were going to talk about today, is how the bunch of pansies in football and the fact that they don't play any preseason games has game one of the season sort of like a preseason game. And as a fan, it sucks. I hate it. Why should I watch the first game of the season be you guys working out the Kings? And then they won, and I'm like, well, never mind.
Well, you had that game. You had the Baltimore and Buffalo game that was
some good,
wildly entertaining.
Yeah.
A
lot of bad games.
Really good football.
Most of the games were bad. Those two were really Thursday night and Monday night. Well, sorry, Sunday night and Monday night. Pretty awesome. Let's break. Tracy Perlman in just a moment. We will pick up on a controversy Vanita started this morning. Who's more controversial than Vanita Soccer? She this morning posited that radio people have bigger egos than TV people. I'm offended. We'll talk about that next.
You're listening to Drive Time with DeRusha. Video streaming live on YouTube and always on your radio at News Talk 830 WCCO.
If you're planning on selling your home soon, you need to be in the know on the changes to the real estate market and our economy so that you can sell it for the most money possible. Hi, it's Vanita. With interest rate fluctuation, talks of a recession, you want to be fully informed. If you're thinking of selling your home, my good friend, the good neighbor agent, John Schuster of the John Schuster Group, Coldwell Banker Realty, along with Paul Douglas, will be hosting another free 45-minute online seminar. Learn the 5 mistakes most homeowners make when trying to sell, how to properly market a home in a balancing market, and 5 things you can do right now to make the most money. 4 webinar times, Tuesday, October 7th, 11 a.m. and 6 p.m., Thursday, the 9th, 11 a.m. and 6 p.m. Space is limited. Sign up today by going to thejohnschustergroup.com. Click the banner at the top of the page marked Home Seller For.
Buy a home, sell a home, we'll get you moving. JohnSchusterGroup.com.
Terms and conditions may apply.
Jefferson Lines is your #1 bus experience for convenient and reliable summer travel. With daily schedules to every corner of Minnesota to thousands of locations across the country, you can easily stay connected and explore new destinations this summer. Jefferson's luxury motor coaches offer free passenger Wi-Fi, individual charging outlets, and reclining seats, so you can relax and comfortably travel to your next destination. Book your travel today and ride comfortably and confidently knowing you're traveling with Minnesota's best transportation company. Don't wait. Seats are going fast. Book online at jeffersonlines.com.
I've been turning wrenches for nearly 20 years. For the longest time, it was chaos. Communication was spotty, PMs got missed, downtime skyrocketed, and accountability practically impossible. Then we switched to Maintain X. Total game changer. Now the whole operation runs through the Maintain X app. work orders, safety procedures, parts inventory. I manage it all in one place with real-time updates. No more delays, no more surprises.
MaintainX helps maintenance teams run smarter, faster, and more efficiently. Thousands of frontline teams trust MaintainX to maximize uptime, cut costs, and stay audit ready. Start your free trial at maintainx.com. That's maintain and the letter X.com.
Viking, committed to exploring the world in comfort, offering small ship experiences with a shore excursion included in every port and programs designed for cultural enrichment. Discover more at Viking.com. That's Viking.com.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/radio to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/radio for your free gutter inspection today. See representative for warranty details. Promotion is 20% off plus a 10% senior or military discount. One discount per household.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
Brought to you by Chef IQ Sense. A little bit on the slow side to cruise the system with rain moving across the metro and the wet roads, helping to slow you down. 35W northbound Hennepin Avenue crash working. Left lane shut down. Flatbed tow is on the scene. Driving slow out of downtown Minneapolis. Southbound watching some slowdowns there as move past Stinson into downtown Minneapolis. West 94 is jammed up past 169, heading up toward County Road 30 over in the East Metro. 694 northbound. That's a slow ride. 94 to Highway 36. Chef IQ Sense is a wireless cooking thermometer that perfectly cooks your food. The Chef IQ probe is inserted into your food and connects to the Chef IQ app to ensure you never under or overcook your food. It's that simple. Order now on chefiq.com with code word WCCO for 15% off. Trey Peterson, News Talk 830 WCCO.
Mnexspike COVID-19 vaccine mRNA by Moderna has arrived. To learn more and find it near you, visit mnexspike.com. That's MNEXSPIKE.com.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
Forecast brought to you by Moderna. It is raining in downtown Minneapolis. Here's Chris Schaefer.
Will dry out tonight, keeping a mostly cloudy sky, falling back to 62. 75 the high tomorrow. That's average this time of year. We'll see more and more sunshine as the day wears on. Plenty of sunshine Thursday with a high up near 80. Highs into the 80s Friday, Saturday, Sunday. A bit muggy and summer-like as well.
Raining in downtown St. Paul right now. It is 66 degrees here on CCO.
Jason DeRusha.
I can ignore your kid crying on a plane the same way I ignored my kids crying. It is not that difficult. And if my kids are listening, they're like, yeah.
Oh, come on. Your kids don't listen.
On News Talk 830 WCCO.
Tracy Perlman, I think we're all in a good mood today, Tracy, after that Vikings win last night, right? Did you stay up?
Oh, are you kidding? I couldn't go to bed. That fourth quarter was so insane. It was so much fun.
Are you, like the rest of us, sort of transfixed by like 22-year-old motivational speaker JJ McCarthy?
Yeah, I like that he's become one of us. You know, he goes to Timberwolves games.
Yeah.
He enjoys the state fair. He, high fives people. He seems like a nice guy, wears a little bit of face paint. He's done everything right. He's following a good roadmap.
He looks so young. He looks, I think, like in life, would I follow a 22-year-old into battle? Unclear.
Does he look young because we're old? Oh, he's a baby. He's 22.
It's a fair question.
Come on.
It's what Alyssa and I were talking about last night while we were watching the game, for sure. Okay. This morning on the morning news with Vanita Sakar, Vanita who, by the way, has her full name on her show. Mine is just my last name. Just my last name. That's because I'm humble. I'm a humble.
I often say that about you.
So
Jason, my humble friend.
Yeah, exactly. That's what a lot of people are saying it. And a lot of people are talking about me humbly, in a humble way, for sure.
Humbly.
So Vanita made a rather explosive accusation that radio people have bigger egos than, well, listen to what Vanita said.
I see a little more egos in radio than I do TV.
Oh, that's just absurd.
I do.
That is absurd.
Oh no.
Oh, I will fight you.
I
on
will
this
fall
one.
on a sword for that because I've been in both. You have not been in both. I have.
I have been around enough
see
TV
many
people.
more egos in radio.
Oh, that is so
big
ridiculous.
time. Maybe not necessarily here, but I see more egos in radio.
Tracy, you have worked in television for a long time. You work with radio people, print people. Is there different ego in TV versus other kinds of media?
Let me start by saying I'm only speaking hypothetically, not about anybody that I know have worked with, will continue to work with. TV people by far have the biggest egos. They think their press pass is their face. They think their name has clout. And many want to be recognized. Radio, you can fly under the radar a little more.
Yeah.
Yes, your voice is going to be very recognizable and people will hear it and know that it's you. But if you just kind of talk quietly or you don't draw attention to yourself, you can fly under the radar. And I think TV inherently is the more glamazon job. You're wearing makeup, you've got the bright lights, you've got the cameras on you, your outfits. Radio, you can come in your sweats if you wanted to, right? I completely disagree with Vanita.
Yeah. I think Vanita may be, so I can see where she's coming from, because if you look at some of the biggest names in like talk radio, they're mostly guys. They've been doing these jobs for a long time. And there is there's a little bit of delusions of grandeur there. Maybe her Channel 5 morning show, maybe everybody was nice, although I think Rusty Gatenby was part of that operation. I mean,
and Mike Binkley, come on.
No ego.
Talk about an ego.
Oh, yeah, Binkley, giant ego. Binkley was minimal ego. Rusty, I mean, you remember the sweaters he used to wear. I mean, that is the mark of an egomaniac. Let's be real.
Yeah. Do you think that with the radio, because that is a good point, with radio, you get the constant feedback. People are calling in, telling you how great you are, how right and righteous your viewpoints are, or they're disagreeing with you and they like to call in to disagree with you. Whereas with TV, you don't get that instant feedback, maybe?
Yeah. Maybe that's part of it. I don't know. I think that, frankly, I do think people, especially in Minnesota, mistake confidence for arrogance. And I don't mind a healthy ego. That's fine. You're a performer. You're a leader. You should have some ego, but you shouldn't be arrogant. You shouldn't be rude. You shouldn't be entitled. To me, those are bigger issues. Ego, and I've been accused of having an ego since CJ started writing it when I was like a 29-year-old reporter. Who cares? Like, why is that an insult?
The JJ of TV. You didn't even know it then.
Yeah, I had no clue. No clue.
That's interesting. I agree. I think you need a little swag, a little something.
Riz.
It doesn't bother me when people a little riz, a little sparkle. I just don't like when people are expecting something, right?
Yes.
Like, don't walk in and expect a table just because you are who you are. There's a lot of important people in the Twin Cities.
Totally. Well, no one's really important enough to expect anything, I think.
That's totally fair.
Yeah. But it is true. Like, certainly TV people who, especially like at a restaurant, you come to a restaurant once, you think you deserve something more than somebody who's a regular who's there every week? Like, give me a break.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
That's silly. Tracy Perlman.
And you better be friendly to the staff.
Ugh. And believe me, they talk. They tell me about which are the people who are not nice. And it is well known. It is well known. Tracy Perlman with us.
Let's start naming names.
Let's go. Here we go. Number one, it's Adam Carter. Adam Carter.
Knew it. Knew it.
I am disgusted by the current trend of if you do something bad and you get caught on camera, and by bad, I don't mean like crime. I mean like you grab a baseball that a kid was going for. The online
With the
mob
hand in its hand.
I know it was bad, but the online mob comes for you like you have just killed someone. We have to find out who this person is. Internet, do your thing. Have we lost the plot when it comes to retribution and punishment for people who have what is admittedly a horrible moment? And we're talking about this Phillies, the latest incident, but this has happened a million times. But this is the Phillies fan who took the ball, the CEO who took the hat that a Polish tennis star was trying to hand to a young boy. All of these things. What do you think about the trend of just absolutely shaming and going after these people?
Well, I think if you're going to play stupid games, you're going to win stupid prizes. So be a person of good character. We'll start with that. 2, I agree with you. I don't think we need to rake people across the coals and be, online vigilantes and Robin Hoods. I do believe in karma, and I think you'll get what's coming to you, but I don't think that means that the whole internet has to know who you are, where you live, where your kids go to school, what you did in the summer of 2012 one time, because there's a photo of it. So, be a good person. Yes, I think you should be shamed in the moment if you're going to take a baseball away from a kid and walk over to the family and scold them. I mean, that was ridiculous and poor character. Should it have cost her job? Probably not.
Probably
maybe
not.
Some
like
dirty looks in the stadium.
Certainly not. Right? Like, I don't understand.
I don't know what she said to the family.
Who cares? Like, can't you be a jerk in your off hours? Why do they come for your job? I think it's crazy.
I don't know. I don't like that. Like, everyone can just go online and, like you said, internet, do your thing.
Yeah.
I don't need it. I don't need it in my life. I don't think we need to participate in that. Like, it's very voyeuristic.
And you never really know, the full story, right? We think that because we saw 15 seconds of video of something, you know what happened. And you don't. Not that I'm defending these people, but I'm just saying you don't really know. And you think like, oh, if you were confused or caught up in the moment or whatever, I don't know, just this idea that we have to get retribution, the online sort of reality show that plays out, I think is really dysfunctional and disturbing.
Right. And we never really see it go the other way either. We never see the random act of kindness that is a true random act of kindness. There's the people who go into restaurants and they say, I want to buy all this food and give it to a bunch of teachers or a homeless population or nurses. And then the restaurant owners give them all the food. Well, then all of a sudden, people are pouring money into them. Well, that's a recorded, and not necessarily a bit. They don't know what the reaction is going to be. But the point is to garner views and to generate. We never see the true, people showing up at Assumption with a meal train to help families, which is happening.
Yeah.
So we never really see it work the other way either.
At least
which I think would
not
be
at the
powerful.
level, right? Like not at the level. We like the negative. It is sort of a human nature thing that we like the drama. We like the negative.
Right. I feel a little better about myself.
Right. Yes. I've never done this at a baseball game. Look at this horrible person, like that sort of vibe.
Look at that. I would have given the ball to a kid.
Right. I know. I also like, I don't know, man. Like if I get a ball and I wanted to bring it home to my kid, am I like the new code is you better give it to some random kid who's sitting there? I don't know. It's just all sort of weird.
I talk about that at every game. I've caught one ball. There was literally no one sitting around me. This was years ago. And so I kept it. And I think about that. Because like I'd like to take it home if I catch the ball.
Yes. I've caught like some batting practice balls, but not like in the middle of the game. Very strange.
If I catch one, I'm going to give it to Dan.
Aw. Dan will appreciate it. Dan will appreciate it.
Yeah.
Tracy, appreciate you. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
You're listening to Drive Time with DeRusha on News Talk 830 WCCO.
All right, Jason here for my friend Chris Lindahl. And Chris was telling me just today, in fact, that he's getting a lot of calls from people who are saying, all right, I got to sell my house before winter. So if you want to sell before the snow flies, there is only one way to go, and that is Chris Lindahl. When Alyssa and I work with Chris, we saw firsthand why he's number one. His guaranteed cash offer is booming because smart sellers like you get it. You've seen this kind of economy before. You know what it means when houses stay on the market and go through price cut after price cut. You know that winter is coming in more ways than one. And when things go cold, selling a property is about speed and certainty. When you say yes to a Chris Lindahl guaranteed cash offer, you don't worry about fixing up the house. Chris does. You don't have to figure out what to do with all the stuff inside. Chris does. All you have to do is make the call and cash the check. Chris is a local guy. He knows this market. He knows how to help people sell a house fast. Get your guaranteed cash offer today. Don't wait. Get to chrislindahl.com or make a call. You can call 763-401-SOLD.
Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today. 1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Donate your car today at carsforkids.org. Your car, running or not, can be picked up as soon as the next day. No title, no problem. Call 877-CARS-FOR-KIDS or go online at carsforkids.org to donate today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Now accepting donations of land, homes, buildings, or any kind of real estate.
New month, new flavors. Jordana here for my friends at Mini Leaf. I'm talking about those Sleep Night gummies. I know you love them, and they even have a new and improved Sleep Night gummy. But here's a twist. They got some new flavors. So better sleep and some yummy new flavors. Great grape, green apple, snooze, and mellow mango in the nighttime blend. And of course, everybody loves the peaceful pineapple. That still exists in those Sleep Night gummies. Better sleep is the way to a better you. Mini Leaf can make that happen. I give these out to friends all the time. I recommend them for anybody who's having sleep troubles. You guys know they help me get off my Ambien, really. These gummies help me get off a pharmaceutical. I hope they will do wonders for you. Here's how you get them. Minileaf.com. MINELEAF.com.
Mini Leaf means quality. Taste happy at minileaf.com.
The home of Minnesota's best legal product.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-9834. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-9834. That's 800-575-9834. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
Brought to you by Whole Foods Market. Shop in store online. Got a crash working for North 100 as you make way toward 50th. Left lane shut down. Stop and go stuff in place as you come up from the crosstown. The crosstown is slow both directions between 169 and 35W. Stock up on home essentials at Whole Foods Market. Get 30% off 7th generation select cleaning supplies with Prime through September 9th. Freshen up your space for a clearer mind. While supplies last, shop in store online. Terms apply. Jerry Peterson, News Talk 830 WCCO.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
All right, CCO forecast telling you that it is going to rain for a little bit, but it's not going to rain all night. Mostly cloudy, low of 62. Tomorrow we get to 75. Thursday, 79, maybe 80 by Thursday. Be in the 80s on Friday. 76 is our average. It's 70 on CCO.
Broadcasting from the dailyagenda.com studios. This is News Talk 830 WCCO. Where do Minnesota insiders get their news in an informed way? Analysis and perspective that'll make you smarter at the water cooler. Thedailyagenda.com.
So Dan is much more of a softie than I am. This is a surprise to no one. And so this morning he sent me this story about an issue that I think is an all-timer that goes in the category of people pretend to care about this and do not actually care about it. Ooh. Drive-in theaters. Drive-in movie theaters. I've never been to one in my life. I do not want to watch a film from the front seat of my car and hope that, like, I clean the mosquito guts off of my windshield so I can see the movie. Like, I'm supposed to listen through the Bluetooth. Do they still put a can speaker, like I'm watching a 1960s movie?
It depends on the place. I think some of them still have that, but most of the time it's an FM. You tune your FM dial into a particular frequency, right, and that's how you get it. I
have zero interest in drive-in theater.
I think they're very quaint. I was really sad when the Lake Elmo one shut down.
Were you?
Yeah, I was, because I enjoyed going to that.
How many times did you go to this theater?
At least half a dozen in the last.
Your life?
Oh, no, in the last 5 years.
Huh? All right.
That it was running, yeah.
You're allowed to be sad about it.
Thank you.
I believe most people who are sad about drive-in theaters are maybe the largest frauds in the world.
How long have you hated joy?
Well,
Actually, I'm sorry. Let me take that back. How long have you hated other people's joy?
What I hate is stolen joy. This is the equivalent.
It's stolen joy.
It's stolen joy. It's not real. It's not real joy. The people are pretending to be mad about something that they never went.
I mean, I'm not mad about it. It's a bummer.
Ugel on YouTube says drive-in theaters are not for indoors types.
That's true.
I mean,
that is true.
We have amazing movie theaters today. Does anyone think like
people
we
don't go?
Need the drive-in? People do go to the movie theaters for blockbusters.
Not nearly at the level they used to.
Well, they're certainly not going to drive-in.
But my point would be that the thing that movie theaters are lacking is like an overall experience, because you can get, great picture, great sound in your house these days. So movie theaters need to offer something else, and drive-ins offered something else, offered that kind of outdoorsy communal experience that movie theaters can't do.
I don't think anyone wants it. No one wants it. In love with each other in theaters, a Pennsylvania couple saves the world's oldest drive-in. Who cares?
Clearly not you.
No one wants to go to the drive-in. I'm convinced. How did I go my whole life? I'm 50 and I've never been to a drive-in.
It's a good question.
If I don't care, you don't need to care. This is how you need to use. This is all you need to know. I will care about the things you guys need to care about.
Hi, Denny Long here. Join us every Saturday for the Home Improvement Show by Lindis Construction. Andy Lindis and I will be taking your home improvement questions both by phone and by text every Saturday morning at 9 o'clock here on News Talk 830 WCCO.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. We're dedicated to serving people 50 and up like me. Our needs are different. Big Wireless wants us in an unlimited plan, but if you're not using all that data, you're probably getting used. At Consumer Cellular, we're focused on affordable, reliable plans, including data that suits your needs, not ours. Our plans start at just $20, and you'll get the best customer service in the business.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com/facts. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
Do you have $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is letting everyone know about great debt relief options now available to help people with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of your credit card debt. Get a free debt relief consultation when you call 800-201-7676, 800-201-7676, 800-201-7676.
First the headlines, then the discussion on what it all means. News Talk 830 WCCO 1029 HD2 Minneapolis, St. Paul. Streaming now on the free Odyssey app.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Progressive Insurance.
I'm Cammie McCormick. Israel launched a strike on Hamas leadership today. It's where that strike occurred that surprised many. White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt.
Unilaterally bombing inside Qatar, a sovereign nation and close ally of the United States that is working very hard and bravely taking risks with us to broker peace, does not advance Israel or America's goals.
Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu.
On this day, as in previous days, Israel acted wholly independently.
The White House learned of the strike from the U.S. military and alerted officials in Qatar. CBS's Ramy Inocencio has more.
According to IDF Radio, this operation has, in fact, been planned for several months. The IDF saying that over the course of the past several months, through these on-again and these off-again attempts for a ceasefire and for negotiations to release those hostages, they say that Hamas, quote, has shown more rigidity regarding the deal. And so Israel decided to accelerate the battle procedure.
The Make America Healthy Again Commission has released its latest report. Linda Kenyon has a look.
The report tracks many of the claims offered by Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr., including claims about vaccines, childhood nutrition, and regulatory goals to end childhood chronic diseases. The report outlines the drivers of those diseases, to include ultra-processed foods. The report also addresses what it calls vaccine injury, which has not been supported by science and has triggered concerns about vaccine misinformation.
The Department of Homeland Security is hailing the start of a new immigration operation in Chicago, but there's a lot of confusion. Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker.
Here's what we do know. ICE is somewhere on the ground here. They already have been effectuating their plans. We have not seen the bulk of those ICE agents yet in communities, but we have seen some, and we know that they are gathering steam.
It appears to be targeting people without legal permission to live in the U.S. who also have criminal records. Congress heard today from whistleblowers who say Facebook parent company Meta suppressed child safety research. Allison Keyes reports.
Former Meta researcher Jason Satizan told a wrapped room full of lawmakers and parents whose children died after harm on social media platforms.
It is evident that Meta consistently chooses profit over safety.
Former Meta researcher Casey Savage discussed the abusive dangers children and others can face using virtual reality headsets.
There are other users with bodies that can corner you, that can surround you, that can touch you.
On Wall Street today, stocks finished higher. The Dow was up nearly 200 points. The Nasdaq higher by 80. This is CBS News.
Progressive Insurance, with insurance for cars, home, boat, motorcycles, RVs, and commercial vehicles at 1-800-PROGRESSIVE and Progressive.com.
Minnesota's trusted voice, every hour. Let's get you caught up with what's happening now on News Talk 830 WCCO.
Rain and 64 degrees at 4:03. Good afternoon. I'm Mark Fry. Hundreds of Target workers are back downtown today as part of a new return to office policy. WCCO's Taylor Rivera with more.
This is expected to boost foot traffic and revenue for local businesses like restaurants and retailers. Ana Castillo Jimenez owns Anna's Apothecary, which just opened recently in the Skyway.
Some folks already stopped by. They're saying that they're coming from their Target meeting here, so it's awesome to watch the foot traffic start to pick up. They said they're going to be here Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursdays primarily.
The Downtown Council's Adam Dunnick is optimistic about the change, but says there's still a lot more work to do.
Right now, Minneapolis is not being talked about as a future market, as a place that, is getting ahead of the curve. It's one that's trying to play catch up. And so what is that from an economic development tool standpoint, from a city policy standpoint, from what the business community, what vision we rally around?
Again, that's WCCO's Taylor Rivera reporting. A Kenyan man with 2 prior DWI convictions has been charged with criminal vehicular homicide following a crash last Saturday in Randolph that killed 2 Apple Valley residents. 28-year-old Seth Neckville was arrested after the head-on crash that killed 49-year-old Patricia Olson and 68-year-old Peter Olson on Highway 56. Neckville reportedly had watery eyes and smelled of alcohol at the scene and later told an investigator he'd been drinking early in the morning at his house. He is being held on bond at the Dakota County Jail. He's due back in court November 5th. Yesterday marking the return to school for preschool students at Annunciation Catholic Church or School in Minneapolis, nearly 2 weeks after a mass shooting killed 2 kids and injured 21 others. Principal Matthew DeBoer posting a video to social media last night.
It's so important that we stay together, that we stay in this, because right now we're doing really well at doing community, and we want to stay that way together. Despite the impossibility of our circumstances, right now we are showing the world what love in action looks like.
Players, coaches, and staff members from both the Minnesota Vikings and Chicago Bears honored Annunciation victims prior to Monday Night Football last night. Citing challenges in providing health care in rural Minnesota, Mayo Clinic says it plans to close 6 sites across southern Minnesota by the end of the year. Those sites closing by December 10th include Belle Plaine, Caledonia, Montgomery, Northbridge, St. Peter, and Walls. Those closures will push some elective procedures from Albert Lee to Austin and Waseca. Minnesota Democrats have a new leader.
Last night, Democrats elected Zach Stephenson as their leader in the state House of Representatives. The 41-year-old from Coon Rapids was a former campaign manager and protege of the late Melissa Hortman. Hortman and her husband were shot and killed in June in what authorities say was a politically motivated attack. Stephenson was first elected to the Minnesota House in 2018. He gained attention in recent years when he was the DFL's point man behind legislation that legalized the recreational use of cannabis. His first act will be to work with House Speaker Lisa Damath to pass gun or school safety legislation. Ari Bergeron, News Talk 830 WCCO.
And he'll join WCCO's Jason DeRusha coming up at 4:35. It's 4:06, traffic and weather next.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
Things slow across the entire system. Update is brought to you by Treasure Island Resort and Casino. Rain having moved through and some wet roads, helping to keep things on that slow side. North 100s make way past 50th. Crash working into the left lane. Traffic remains tight coming up from the crosstown. North 169, that's jammed up as you come up from Valley View all the way up toward Medicine Lake Road. 494 westbound, that's slow across the Minnesota River Bridge. You're also going to find slow down South 35W, 106th Street down to County Road 42. Experience America's favorite game show when Wheel of Fortune Live comes to Treasure Island. You could be randomly selected for your chance to spin a replica wheel, solve puzzles, and win incredible prizes when the game show rolls into the island Saturday and Sunday, October 18th and 19th. Trey Peterson, News Talk 830 WCCO.
Mnexspike COVID-19 vaccine mRNA by Moderna is now available and easy to find near you. To learn more, visit mnexspike.com. That's MNEXSPIKE.com.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
And the weather is brought to you by Moderna. Here's Chris Schaefer.
Will be mostly cloudy overnight tonight, falling back to 62. Call it increasing sunshine tomorrow. Warming up to 75. That's about average this time of year. Thursday looks pretty awesome. Mostly sunny with a high up near 80. Warming into the 80s, even getting a bit humid. Very summer-like Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
All right, thank you, Chris. 64 and cloudy at News Talk 830 WCCO.
The news you need, the talk you want, from the voices you know and care about. News Talk 830 WCCO. Good questions. Topics you'll probably talk about at dinner. Places to go for dinner. This is the Ride Home Reimagined. Welcome to Drive Time with DeRusha. Now, here's Jason DeRusha.
It is a great day. It's Tuesday. It's always a good day after a Minnesota Vikings win. Even the rain doesn't feel that bad. Hope you're having a great drive home. JP will keep you safe. We will keep you up to date. Chris Schaefer on the weather. Got lots to talk about. Coming up at 4:35. House Democrats have chosen a new leader to replace Melissa Hortman. That new leader will join us. So much to talk about with discussion about special session potentially around the corner. A divided House. What will his style be? All of that. So that's coming your way at 4:30. But first, bit of a breaking news version of DeRusha Eats, as a local family is asking for help to save their business.
DeRusha, he has the eats.
Nobody brings you the Twin Cities restaurant scene like your favorite foodie. Now, Jason explores some of the great chefs, owners, and stories right in our own backyard. Drive Time now transitions into DeRusha Eats.
And DeRusha Eats is brought to you by the Minnesota Pork Board. I saw this morning a Facebook post by our next guest, which was just dripping with emotion. And I think part of what I love about covering food and covering restaurants and covering small businesses is that passion, the dream. And there comes a point for a lot of these businesses that they need help. Borchardt's Meat Market is in Maplewood, and Josie Borchard is with us right here. Josie, thanks for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
You wrote this Facebook message just about 24 hours ago. It's been shared almost 200 times.
Mm-hmm.
Your parents started the meat market in Maplewood 10 years ago, right?
Yes, that's correct. It was my freshman year of high school.
So for you, you remember the excitement and the nervousness that goes into that, right?
Oh, yeah. And this business has been in our community for over 60 years, since the 60s. And it's always been a community store. I remember going there as a child. Like, we would ride our bikes up to the store. So it's always been in my family, even before my parents even owned the store.
So what made your family, it made you realize, like, we're in trouble. We need some help.
Yeah. Well,
it's hard, right?
It is hard.
Yeah.
Owning a small business in this economy has been really hard for the past couple of years. We've been struggling with our property taxes. They've kind of been going up. So it's hard to find new customers, get people into our building. Some people think we're kind of hidden. So we're trying to do everything that we can to get customers and to pay off our taxes here.
So the property tax in Maplewood is part of it.
Mm-hmm.
And then part of it is just competition, right? I mean, the reality is, for a locally owned community meat market, you're competing against the big old grocery stores, the big Targets and Walmarts and Costco's and all of those things. You're competing against all of it.
Right. Which I think a lot of people, there's a trend right now that people want to shop small.
Yeah.
And so we're hoping to catch that trend and get people into our store, but it is hard to compete with pricing and all those other things that big stores can do that the little guy can't do.
Josie Borchard is our guest. Borchardt's Meat Market. Tell me what makes, in the history of this, it was Rogers and then Richards, and now it's your family. What is the differentiator? What makes your family's meat market special?
I really think it's my parents. We kind of like joke that it's like Cheers, where everybody knows your name, which is it's so cheesy, but it's really true. We'll go to bars or restaurants, and we always have to stop for a second because someone's always talking to Dave or Donna. We're always running into people we know, and they really make people feel like family at our store. Sometimes I have to wait to talk to my mom because she's like in conversation with all these customers, so I can't even talk to her when I show up at the store. And
there is something about, I live in Maple Grove, and we have Osseo Meats right by us, and it is that same vibe. You walk in the meat market, you can ask the butcher, like, oh, I'm going to have 6 people over for dinner.
Yes.
Can you cut me a 3-pound something? You know what I mean?
That's exactly how it is. And we're always sharing recipes. Or my mom, I hear her say all the time, like, what are you cooking for dinner? Or do you need ideas? So it really is a whole family that we're trying to create with our customers.
10 years of this. How was it your idea to start the GoFundMe, or was it your parents? Was it hard to convince them? How did that all go down?
Well, it's really hard to ask for help.
Oh.
So my parents,
in every sense.
I'm a school teacher. I teach 6th grade. So I know how hard it is to ask for help. My students, they won't ask for help right away. And then you realize, like, well, you've been struggling with this problem for so long. If you would have asked, we could have maybe helped a little bit. So I've noticed them struggling. I've noticed them trying to do their best and kind of like act like everything's, they're holding it together. But we're at a breaking point where we need help, and we need the help now. We are in the next couple of months, we might have to close the store if we don't get enough funds, which is really hard to say, but it's the truth.
Yeah, it is difficult, right? Where you say like, okay, is it worth asking for help? Should we just throw in the towel? Like, what do we do? I'm sure all of those things were part of a conversation.
Oh, for
you,
sure.
right?
We've had many late nights talking about different ideas. What do we do? Do we close the store? But this is my parents' livelihood. I can't picture them doing anything else. My mom has worked in retail, both of them really, and business their entire lives. They've been doing customer service. They're good at it. They know how to talk to people. They know how to work in a community. I don't want to see them have to start over at 55 and find new jobs. So that's really, really why I'm here, really why I wanted to start the GoFundMe.
What's been for you, especially watching that starting at a young age? I'm always interested in sort of the family aspect of this. I mean, what has it been like for you? Have you learned lessons from watching the way your parents have run this business?
Definitely. I mean, I'm 25. I have 4 brothers. We've all worked at the store. We all have learned leadership and communication skills and how to talk to people, how to talk to the community. I've learned a lot from my parents of just like how to be kind and giving. My mom, she helps. We have some homeless kids or people that come into our store a lot. And just seeing how she interacts with all sorts of people who have walked so many different lives. Everyone has a different story to tell, and we sit and we listen to those stories when they're in our store too.
The business is called Borchardt's Meat Market. Borchardt's, right?
Yes, Borchardt's.
Don't want a Borchard. Borchardt's Meat Market. Our guest is Josie Borchard. And Ugel, who's watching our stream on YouTube, is asking where the meat market is in Maplewood because he wants to go and buy some meat tonight. I'm sure a lot of our listeners, that's another great way to support, right? By showing up.
Yes, of course.
Showing up and being a part of it. There is a GoFundMe as well. If you just search Borchardt's Meat Market on GoFundMe, you can find that. But where is the meat market?
It is on Frost Avenue in Maplewood. So it's 1344 Frost Avenue.
All right. So it's right near like English Street, sort of not too far from like County Road B, that part. Yeah. 60,000 is what you're looking for. It's a big hole, right?
It is.
Yeah. Are you convinced that if you get that money that you'll be able to kind of dig out? Is it just the debt is such that it makes it difficult even for successful retail to dig out?
I think with the 60,000, we will be able to continue. We have some great new apartment buildings that are going up in the community. So it's going to shift.
Yeah.
We're going to have more foot traffic. We're going to have more people. We're just really trying to hold on so that we can get to the opening dates of these apartments. Some of them are opening really, really soon, but we're just kind of in that time crunch right now. So we're trying to hold on. We know that we're going to have more customers coming in through these apartments. And we have flyers that we're going to hand out to the new tenants that are going to live there. So we really are doing everything we can to make this last for 10, 20 plus years.
Yeah, right. It is a tricky thing when you say like, all right, you know that the demographics are going to change. We also know that around the country, the standalone independent grocer, the independent meat market, it is the same struggle that all grocers have, which is, the margin is not huge. The profit margin is not huge. So you really need the frequency to make it work. I love a meat market, though. I do think like if you lose those small town one-off places, what are we, right? Yeah. Man, how do you handle 6th graders? I think a lot of us are. You think about the challenges in life. You have you have economic challenge of the meat market, but being a 6th grade teacher, I don't know which is harder.
I don't know.
Depends on the day, doesn't it? Depends on the day. Well, give me the pitch one more time so people know that they can go and support your family. One way is by making a donation on the GoFundMe. But this is you guys have been there for this is part of, I think, I don't know if people realize like the asks that get sent towards restaurants or individual markets to support fundraisers and things in the community. So now is a chance to kind of, if you believe in having that sort of independent thing, to stand up, right?
I would say if you're looking for a small family-owned business, a community store, and you're looking for that community feel where you know your name, you're treated like family, to please donate, so we can stay around and we can provide that store for you.
Josie, I really appreciate what you've done and the fact that you guys put yourself out there. And it is a reminder that, all of these things, whether it's property taxes, whether it's government policies, whether it's you or me deciding to save 10 cents a pound and going to a different store, there are effects of that. Not saying that people should spend money they don't have, but if you have the chance to support your neighbors, this is what community is, right?
Yeah, and even if you don't have the money to spend, please just share. That helps as well. Sharing the post, getting the word out there, that helps just as much.
How much time do you think you guys have?
A couple months.
Yeah.
Not till the end of the year.
Borchardt's Meat Market. You don't want to be one of those people that when Borchardt's, if they post on Facebook that they're closing and then you say, oh, no, we love you. No, now's your chance. I do think other businesses, I'm seeing more of this now where people are being a little more transparent about the struggles they're going through. And I think as a guest, as a community member, as a customer, I appreciate that. To me, it's not a sign of weakness, which maybe for another generation, it feels like you're saying you failed.
It's hard to ask for help.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah. Josie, thank you so much for coming in. It's called Borchardt's Meat Market. Go get your meat at this Maplewood family-owned small business. And if you're able, they've got that GoFundMe to help them cover some of those back bills as well. Thanks, Josie.
Thank you so much.
That's DeRusha Eats. You got some pork over there at the meat market?
Oh, yeah.
All right. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Brought to you by the Minnesota Pork Board. Coming right back here on CCO.
This is Drive Time with DeRusha on News Talk 830 WCCO.
All right. It is Jason for my friends at the Minnesota Pork Board. And we are so grateful of their support of DeRusha Eats. And the Minnesota Pork Board, I mean, I know they're going to love this story from Josie, not the struggle aspect of it, but the value of family, the value of small business. Because if you think about the Minnesota family farmers, that is what every one of those Minnesota pork farmers is. It is a family who put themselves out there and said, we believe in our state, we believe in our community, we believe in our family, and we're going to put our lives on the line and see if we can feed some people. Minnesota Pork is made up of 3,000 family farmers every corner of the state. So when you think about going to Borchardt's Meat Market or whatever butcher shop or grocery store in your hometown, think about those Minnesota family farmers who are so dedicated to bring you delicious, high protein, lean, so dang flavorful Minnesota pork. For me, in a busy weeknight, it's all about that pork tenderloin. I bet at Borchardt's you can get a pre-marinated one. You just take that bad boy home, throw it in your oven. 15 minutes later, it's dinner time. You need inspiration? You can find it. There's recipe ideas if you want to do something a little more involved at mnpork.com. But most importantly, just go to that locally owned meat market and let's have Minnesota pork for dinner tonight.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today. See representative for warranty details. Promotion is 20% off plus a 10% senior or military discount. One discount per household.
In business, timing is everything. When it's time to buy, sell, or merge, you need a legal team that moves fast, thinks smart, and protects every dollar. At Helmuth & Johnson, we have over 30 years of experience in mergers and acquisitions that get results. No red tape, no surprises, just smart strategy and airtight execution. Big deals need bold lawyers. Helmuth & Johnson, on your side, at your side. Visit hjlawfirm.com. That's hjlawfirm.com.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. We're dedicated to serving people 50 and up like me. Our needs are different. Big Wireless wants us in an unlimited plan, but if you're not using all that data, you're probably getting used. At Consumer Cellular, we're focused on affordable, reliable plans, including data that suits your needs, not ours. Our plans start at just $20, and you'll get the best customer service in the business.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com/facts. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
Your home equity could vanish almost overnight, stolen by scammers who forge a deed and transfer it out of your name. The FBI calls it house stealing, and the worst part is you may not know it until it's too late. Find out if you're already a victim now at HomeTitleLock.com. Use promo code RADIO for a 30-day free trial, a title scan, and access to a title specialist, a $250 value. Go to HomeTitleLock.com now. Promo code RADIO.
You're listening to Drive Time with DeRusha.
Brutal. It was giving me headaches and making me nauseous. I don't know if I'm getting used to it, but thankfully it didn't bother me as much. It wasn't as oppressive as it has been.
On News Talk 830 WCCO.
New DFL House Leader Zach Stephenson is going to join us in just about 10 minutes. 2 Minnesota restaurants named to the New York Times best 50 restaurants now. It's pretty crazy. We have had a great stretch. Now, look, as someone who writes for a magazine and sometimes writes restaurant lists and best of and that sort of thing, I will say this. When there is a list of the 50 best places in America right now, what that really means is the 50 best places that our writers have visited that we can say are the best. Not taking anything away. Everyone who's on this list, I would guess, really deserves it. And certainly locally, to have 2 restaurants on that list is amazing. Diane's Place, I have been singing the praises of this restaurant since I first went in. I named it Minnesota Monthly's best new restaurant of 2024 before Diane Mua even added dinner. It was just brunch at that point, and the brunch was so extraordinary. To me, it was worthy. Boucheron, if we had Michelin stars in Minnesota, Boucheron would have 1 Michelin star. It's that good. It's neighborhood vibe, warm, friendly Minnesota service, like not stuffy, but the food is so precise and so beautiful and so special. Diane's Place says that same thing. It is sort of interesting that in Minnesota, the service we get here is different because well, first of all, we don't have necessarily the same like super high-end restaurants where some of the people learn the super formal style of service. But also, I think we want restaurants where you feel comfortable showing up in jeans and a T-shirt, just as comfortable as you would in a blazer and, a suit. I am going to a Chicago restaurant tomorrow night. I'm going to be in Chicago the rest of the week. And I had to make that choice. Now if you go to like a fancy high-end restaurant, often you prepay for your ticket. It's like you buy a ticket and you pay. And in Minnesota, if you go to Boucheron, you can spend a lot of money on wine, but on food, you're not going to spend more than, if you ball out, you're spending $120 max. This restaurant in Chicago, Alyssa and I had to have a real discussion if we wanted to go or not, because it's one of the best. It's, 3 Michelin stars, I think. So it's like, I don't know if I even want to say how much money it is. It's like you could look it up if you want. It's a linea. I don't even want to say the amount. It's so absurd. But when you add in tip and tax and everything, it's like $600 a person. So it'll be our anniversary present to each other. But like, whew, can a $600 a person meal be that much better than a $100 a person meal? Yeah. Yes. It's just different. Food is food. It's all going to nourish you. It's all
a different
calories.
experience, right?
It's a different experience. You're paying for some of that. But Diane's Place, you can walk into Diane's Place any morning and buy one of the best pastries you'll have in your life, have the best chicken noodle soup I ever had in my life. Her mung sausage, just wonderful. Cool for us to have 2 restaurants getting this sort of national attention, but it's a reminder, you got to go. You got to go there and support it. Lots of questions. Oh, yeah, go
Just
ahead.
before we get to break.
Yeah. Are you going to say it's Twins Ticket Tuesday?
That's exactly where I was going.
I knew it.
That's exactly where I was going.
When are we giving tickets
We
away?
are giving away tickets for the game 1 week from today. So that's next Tuesday, September the 16th, versus the New York Yankees.
That's fun.
So there'll be some buzz in the building.
Yeah.
That's 6:40 p.m. first pitch. When you hear the Wind Twin sounder, don't call now. Don't do it. I see you doing it. Don't do it right now. When you hear that Wind Twin sounder, call number 3 gets the 4-pack of tickets. And Twins host the Yankees next week, and Tuesdays are $1 a dog night at Target Field. So get your tickets now.
All right. I like it. In just a minute, the new House DFL leader, Zach Stephenson, here on Drive Time with DeRusha.
This is Drive Time with DeRusha on News Talk 830 WCCO. In a world where the news cycle flatlined and Minnesotans begged for something, anything worth talking about, one radio station activated the last team on Earth that could make sense of it all. They're sharp, they're caffeinated, and they've got thoughts. Sakar, Carter, Green, Hartman, DeRusha, Lake. When other stations checked out, CCO checked in hard. Because someone has to talk road construction, politics, Twins pitching, and whatever happened at the latest Coldplay concert. Filling the void so you don't have to. News Talk 830 WCCO.
Thielen Meats of Piers is where tradition meets taste.
Family grown, employee owned. We've mastered the art of meat.
That's why we're the #1 meat market in Minnesota.
And we're located right here in Piers.
Check out our mouthwatering selection at thielenmeats.com.
Better yet, stop in and see for yourself. We're serving up love one cut at a time.
Thielen Meats, from our family to your feast.
No meals complete without Thielen Meats
of Piers.
If you're planning on selling your home soon, you need to be in the know on the changes to the real estate market and our economy so that you can sell it for the most money possible. Hi, it's Vanita. With interest rate fluctuation, talks of a recession, you want to be fully informed. If you're thinking of selling your home, my good friend, the Good Neighbor agent, John Schuster of the John Schuster Group, Coldwell Banker Realty, along with Paul Douglas, will be hosting another free 45-minute online seminar. Learn the 5 mistakes most homeowners make when trying to sell, how to properly market a home in a balancing market, and 5 things you can do right now to make the most money. 4 webinar times, Tuesday, October 7th, 11 a.m. and 6 p.m., Thursday, the 9th, 11 a.m. and 6 p.m. Space is limited. Sign up today by going to thejohnschustergroup.com. Click the banner at the top of the page marked Home Seller For.
Buy a home, sell a home, we'll get you moving. JohnSchusterGroup.com.
Terms and conditions may apply.
If you have doubts about your retirement readiness, listen to the Retirement Reality Report with Mark Dillon and David Linsky of L3 Family Wealth Partners. Join the Linskys Saturday mornings at 11 right here on WCCO.
At Advent, nasal congestion and sinus infections can be solved with an in-office 20-minute procedure. Elsewhere, expect surgery.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-9834. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-9834. That's 800-575-9834. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Washburn McCreevy Funeral Chapels and Cremation Services has been providing compassionate and personalized service for over 160 years. Honor your loved one and ensure your own wishes are met. Call 612-377-2203 or visit washburnmccreevy.com.
Hey, Minnesota fans! Join Vanita Sakar from the Morning News Wednesday, September 10th from 3 to 5 p.m. at the Verizon store in Eden Prairie, located at 8045 Flying Cloud Drive, Suite 100. Come talk football, show your Minnesota pride, and have a chance to win great prizes. Get in on the fun this Wednesday, September 10th from 3 to 5 p.m. at the Verizon store in Eden Prairie.
Are you looking to hire? ZipRecruiter finds the best candidate for your job fast. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
Still got a crash working on North 100 as make way toward 50th Street. Left lane affected. Things are slow as you come up from Highway 62. 62 itself on the slow side between Cedar and 169. 494 northbound. Watching slowdowns areas make way toward Highway 7 up toward the Fish Lake Interchange. 10 westbound's jammed up as moved past Foley, heading up to Hanson Boulevard. Jerry Peterson, News Talk 830 WCCO.
Hungry? Go to Dickey's Barbecue Pit of Egan for real Texas barbecue. All meats smoked fresh in-house daily. You can dine in, take out, have it delivered, or have your event catered anywhere in the metro. Just go to Dickeys.com. Dickey's Barbecue Pit of Egan, the Twin Cities catering leader.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
Rain is mostly out towards the east metro. Here is the latest from Chief Meteorologist Chris Schaefer.
Will dry out tonight, keeping a mostly cloudy sky, falling back to 62. 75 the high tomorrow. That's average this time of year. We'll see more and more sunshine as the day wears on. Plenty of sunshine Thursday with a high up near 80. Highs into the 80s Friday, Saturday, Sunday. A bit muggy and summer-like as well.
Weather brought to you by Dickey's Barbecue Pit of Egan. Right now, it is raining in downtown Minneapolis, 68 on CC.
You're listening to Drive Time with DeRusha. Video streaming live on YouTube and always on your radio at News Talk 830 WCCO.
All right, House Democrats had to do something they, certainly didn't want to do. They had to select a replacement for the late Representative Melissa Hortman. Zach Stephenson is with us on the John Schuster Coldwell Banker Hotline. He is the new DFL House leader. And Zach, it must have that sort of mixed emotion that I just mentioned.
Oh, you're absolutely right, Jason. I'm, of course, deeply honored to have been entrusted by my colleagues with this role. I am excited for the work that we're going to do for the people of Minnesota. But at the same time, Melissa Hortman was a close friend of mine. I met Melissa Hortman when I was 17 years old. I'm 41 now. So, her for more than half of my life. And she was a friend and a mentor. And I would do anything to have a time machine to go back to June 1st and avoid all of this. She was the most consequential speaker in Minnesota history. And we are so much poorer having lost her.
You were the campaign manager for her, right?
In her first successful run for the House, one thing about Melissa that people need to know is she ran twice and lost before winning on her third attempt. And, that really says something about her tenacity, her persistence. I think a lot of people would have given up after the first attempt and probably most after the second, but she was someone who really believed in the importance of public service and doing things for others. And so she just never gave up.
Your work started today, because obviously the potential special session dealing with violence, dealing with guns, dealing with school safety. Did you meet with the governor today? What happened today?
We had a very productive meeting. The governor called together the leaders of the four caucuses, the House and Senate Democrats and Republicans. And so we all met together and had a productive and candid conversation about the need to do something serious to address gun violence. It's been an awful summer in Minnesota between the assassination of Mark and Melissa Hortman and Gilbert, the dog, as well as the shootings of John Hoffman and Yvette Hoffman. And then, of course, the Annunciation shooting just a few weeks ago. And Minnesotans are ready for us to do something about this, to get these weapons of war off of our streets and take meaningful action.
So what is productive when Republicans have said they want action on mental health, they want action on fortifying schools and having security at all schools, including Catholic schools, private schools, and Democrats are saying we want to limit the size of magazines and we want an assault weapons ban? Sounds like we're having, as usual, two different conversations here.
Well, the important thing is that we're having the conversation and we're getting in the room. We're talking with each other. We're being candid and respectful and direct with each other about what our priorities are. And for my caucus, we have been listening to the families at Annunciation, the broader community, who have been asking us to do something about the weapons of war, about the guns. That's where our focus needs to be.
You want to ban assault weapons? What does that mean to you?
To me, it means that there's no reason why these weapons of war need to be on the street. Like the Second Amendment is an important amendment to the Constitution. It's really clear that it protects individual rights to keep and bear arms, but no one needs to have a weapon that can do so much damage to so many people in such a short period of time. It's not necessary for self-defense. It's not necessary for hunting. And the vast majority of Minnesotans agree with this. When you look at polling data, you can see there is a strong majority in favor of banning these weapons of war, as well as the large capacity magazines. There's no reason to have a magazine that contains 100 rounds for the purpose of self-defense or hunting. Those types of equipment have one purpose, to kill other humans in significant, massive, and fast fashion. And we just don't need those in our society.
I think there are a lot of things that polling and the public is in favor of that for sort of, political reasons or procedural reasons or true believer reasons end up not getting done. I worry that this will be one of those scenarios. And I'm not saying that an assault weapons ban is the right thing or the wrong thing. I think the data on the federal ban is more inconclusive than I think either side would like it to be. But what's the real path here?
We're going to keep trying to do this until it gets done. Minnesota Democrats have been very committed for a long time to making meaningful steps on gun violence prevention. And for a long time, there was a lot of cynicism that we could never get it done. In 2023, we passed universal background checks and we passed red flag laws. And we know that those bills are saving lives. We can see in the data that the red flag laws are being ordered and that people's lives are being saved because of it. And we just kept at it year after year. I voted for those bills year after year in my service to the House, and they went nowhere until they passed. And so we have no choice but to keep trying. We cannot accept a situation where little kids are getting gunned down while they're praying at morning mass. It's unacceptable. And we are the only country in the world where this is a fact of life. That's not acceptable to me. I've got small kids myself. I remember going to kindergarten roundup for my oldest kid, and I remember we're walking through the building, and I caught myself looking at the doors to the building on the outside and wondering, oh boy, are those doors thick enough? That seems like a lot of glass. And I was thinking of this, and then I thought to myself, How ridiculous that I'm at kindergarten roundup as a parent and having to think, are those doors thick enough? Is that too much glass? That is not the way that we should live in Minnesota in 2025. No parent should be thinking about that for their kindergartner. And I guarantee you any parent of small children has those thoughts.
Are there proposals that the House Republicans have brought up? They had a list of things, some focused on extending school safety funding to the private schools, some focused on more mandatory, tougher prison sentences for repeat gun criminals. Are any of these proposals things that you think your caucus could support?
Well, I think that there are ideas in there that are worthy of discussion. My caucus has been very interested in mental health supports for many years and done a lot on that. But you can't use that as a distraction away from the main issue here. The issue is the guns. The issue is the weapons of war. And that is what the families have asked us to focus on. That is what the community is asking us to focus on. That is what the public expects. That's the conversation we need to have.
Right, but doesn't it depend which problem you're trying to solve, right? I think prior to the Annunciation school shooting, people would have pointed more towards gang violence, towards street crime, towards crime in underserved communities, frankly, as a bigger concern. Obviously, the school shooting that happened puts that at front and center in all of our attention. But banning assault weapons, I don't know that gets us very far when you're looking at sort of the day in, day out, more mundane, if you will, street crime, which maybe tougher sentences get you there.
I don't know that I agree with you on that. I think that having fewer weapons of war on our streets makes us safer all the way around. And I think the problem that a lot of people have that makes them particularly outraged, particularly disgusted, particularly dismayed, is that these school shootings happen. There's a surge of coverage, a surge of sympathy, and then 2 weeks later, it's off the front page and no one's talking about it anymore. But I'll tell you what, when I'm out talking to constituents in my district, when I go out door knocking and talk to people, people remember. They bring it up. They ask me. They say, well, you got to do something about the guns. It may disappear from the conversation in the news cycle, but it doesn't disappear from the hearts and the minds of Minnesotans who are still thinking about what happened at Sandy Hook and Uvalde and all of those places. And they will remember Annunciation, and they expect us to do something about it.
Zach Stephenson is with us, new DFL House leader. Obviously, we have an incredibly divided legislature, and Republican Speaker Lisa Demuth worked well with Melissa Hortman when it came down to the budget and getting things done at the end of last session. How do you work with Lisa Demuth? How do you two get along?
We get along just fine. Lisa and I were elected together. Speaker Demuth and I were elected at the same time, and we've served in the legislature together and had a good, productive relationship. This last session, during those budget negotiations you're talking about, I chaired the Ways and Means Committee, which is the budget setting committee in the House, and so I was involved in those discussions. We can get stuff done. We can work together. The good news about the Minnesota legislature is that even though we are very closely divided, that kind of Washington-style gridlock slash and burn politics hasn't fully infected us. We are able to look past that and get stuff done like we did this year. I mean, we were as closely divided as possible, 101 Democrats, 100 Republicans, if you conclude the House and the Senate. And we were able to get a budget done that had a lot of good stuff in it.
There's a lot of uncertainty, obviously, in the political environment right now. At this point, we don't know if Governor Tim Walz is going to run for re-election again. We don't know who from the Republican side will end up being the candidates when you look at if other people are going to jump in on the Senate race, all of this. There's just a lot of discussion as to what it means to be a Democrat right now. Do the Democrats need to, did they go too woke? Are they being too driven by the Democratic Socialist side of the party? Now for you as the leader of the House Democrats, you'll have to manage some of that. You have that division. It's the House. You've got that division on display with your own party. How do you, which path do you think is the right path for Democrats to go down?
These are things that make great topics of discussion.
Well, it's a talk radio show, of course.
Yeah,
yes,
I get it, but it's not where
you want me to bring up boring stuff for you, Zach? That's no good.
we are a united caucus of Democrats who are committed to working for the people of Minnesota, who want to do something to stop this gun violence, who want to do something to make life affordable for working class Minnesotans. We want to do work on healthcare and prescription drugs. And we have demonstrated time and time again in recent years that we will stick together and do that work and make Minnesotans' lives better. And that's what we're going to be focused on. All the other stuff you talked about, that'll either get taken care of itself in time. I personally think election seasons are way too long, and we're way far away from the 2026 election. And who's going to run for what? That's a fun parlor game. It's going to get worked out at some point down the road. Those other discussions I'll leave for Twitter. I'm going to stay focused on the work that we are elected to do, because we're actually closer in time to the last election than the next one still. And I intend to stay focused on the work that we need to do.
Will there be a special session?
I think there's a strong possibility. I don't think any decisions have been made. Only the governor can call a special session, so it's a question for him. But when I hear him talk, I can hear the passion in his voice. I can hear the resolve to do something on this issue. It's clear to me that he's very determined to take strong action to prevent gun violence.
We'll talk again soon. Zach Stephenson, really appreciate the time and the conversation. New leader for the DFL caucus in the House. Thanks, Zach. Appreciate it.
Hey, thank you.
It is 4:50. Let's get you up to date. Traffic is a mess out there with the rain. We'll get you the latest in just a minute.
You're listening to Drive Time with DeRusha. Video streaming live on YouTube and always on your radio at News Talk 830 WCCO.
Storm season is here. That means nature's fury will cause damage to your roof. When it does, that's when you call Brian Job of Job Brothers Construction. Because they're local, they offer same-day Twin City-wide emergency service. Job Brothers Construction will repair or replace your roof from nature's wrath. They'll also work with your insurance company to ensure all the I's are dotted and T's are crossed. Brian and his team truly take the hassle out of a terrible situation. Working with Brian and his crew will give you peace of mind because it was done right. Just contact Job Brothers Construction for a no-obligation, free, and full inspection. Contact them online at jobbrothersconstruction.com. That's J-O-B-E, Job Brothers Construction, handling all your roofing, siding, window, and gutter needs. They'll even repair your roof from fallen trees. Job Brothers Construction. They get the job done right.
Do you owe $10,000 or more in credit card debt or personal loans? With credit card debt at all-time highs, Debt Relief Advocates is urgently notifying consumers of debt relief now being made available, designed to aid consumers with out-of-control credit card debt. Those who qualify and enroll for this relief program will only have to pay back a fraction of what they owe. This is not bankruptcy or a debt consolidation loan. This is a relief program that credit card companies would rather you not know about, as it ends your debt nightmare and saves you lots of money. Consumers owing at least $10,000 in credit card debt or personal loans can now take advantage of this debt relief as the cost of living skyrockets. Debt Relief Advocates has established a relief hotline for you to call to learn what debt reduction you may qualify for, so don't wait. For this free information, call the Relief Hotline at 800-390-1164. 800-390-1164. 800-390-1164.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio.
University of Maryland Global Campus offers more than 55 flexible online certificates that provide short-term credentials and real-world skills you can use immediately. With a range of affordable undergraduate and graduate certificates in high-demand fields like business, AI, cybersecurity, data analytics, and healthcare, you can earn credentials quickly to help advance your career. Learn more at umgc.edu. That's umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
Brought to you by Chef IQ Sense. Going to find slowdowns across pretty much the entire system, including 35E, both directions, essentially between Randolph and Little Canada Road. Highway 36 eastbound's jammed up. It's coming away from 280 heading out toward Highway 61. Up on the north side, 610 eastbound, that's slow. Broadway heading over to Highway 252. And on the south side, South 35W jammed up as move across the Minnesota River Bridge. Chef IQ Sense is a wireless cooking thermometer that perfectly cooks your food. Chef IQ Probe is inserted into your food and connects to the Chef IQ app to ensure you never under or overcook your food. It's that simple. Order now on chefiq.com with code word WCCO for 15% off. Trey Peterson, News Talk 830 WCCO.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
Heaviest rain is in the East Metro. It's just moved through Stillwater into the new Richmond, Wisconsin area. The rain will move out overnight down to 62. Tomorrow, 75 is the high. Thursday, almost 80. Dry into the weekend. We'll be in the 80s on Friday and Saturday. Enjoy. Second summer. It's back, baby. Right now in Stillwater, raining in 62 on CCO.
Broadcasting from the dailyagenda.com studios. This is News Talk 830 WCCO. Where do Minnesota insiders get their news in an informed way? Analysis and perspective that'll make you smarter at the water cooler. The dailyagenda.com.
All right, time for our announcements. Are you ready? It's back when I was in high school, I was the morning announcement guy.
Really? You've never mentioned that before.
Well, you're on this show every day.
That's true. I am.
Really helped me pick up the chicks, too. No doubt about it. So first, it's Twins Ticket Tuesday. So
yes.
Give it away, a 4-pack of tickets for the game next Tuesday. Will we be at the game next Tuesday? Maybe. We might be broadcasting.
There's a significant possibility, yes.
So we're going out there, I think, for one of the Yankees games. So Tuesday the 16th is the game we're giving tickets away for because it's $1 a dog night. So why not?
Absolutely.
You can buy tickets at twins.com/tickets. Or you can win them when Dan plays the Win Twins sounder, and then you just call in at 651-461-9226.
Not now. Don't do it.
My other announcement is courtesy of my friends at the Minneapolis Club, because I'm going to be interviewing Steve Grove at the Minneapolis Club, a conversation on tech, media, and government, where Minnesota goes from here. Will Steve Grove, the publisher of the Minnesota Star Tribune, will he run for governor if Tim Walz doesn't? I think yes.
I thought you were going to say, is he going to sell you a hot dog for $1?
Not at the Minneapolis Club.
No, apparently not.
Friday, October 10th. If you Google Minneapolis Club Steve Grove, Friday, October 10th, you get lunch, you get me, and you get Grove. You get his book? Maybe we give you his book. I don't know. Yeah, you get a lunch. You can buy your own damn book. Grove isn't keeping that paper in business by giving away books.
Look at you trying to give away other people's stuff.
I don't know. You should give away a book. Well, you're getting lunch. And, I'm not buying you a book either. I almost was going to say that I would buy you a book. That ain't happening. DeRUSH Hour News Headlines coming up at the top of the hour. We're going to talk about new design at schools. Yes, security is part of it. But learning is part of it, a key part of it. That's after Taylor Rivera, a special Taylor Rivera local news appearance.
I'm John Taft, Vice Chairman of Baird. For over 100 years, Baird's people and expertise have made a difference in the financial advice and services we provide. Our experts on 3 continents combine diverse backgrounds and perspectives to meet your needs. Being nationally recognized as a great place to work helps Baird attract the best people in our industry to advise you. Experience a different kind of financial partnership. Discover the Baird difference. Visit BairdTwinCities.com.
Sell your house in days, not months. Say yes to a guaranteed cash offer and say no to gambling on the open market, strangers in your home, leaving for showings, and paying agent commissions. Go to ChrisLindahl.com.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today. See representative for warranty details. Promotion is 20% off plus a 10% senior or military discount. One discount per household.
Anytime is tune-up time at Apollo Heating, Air, and Plumbing. For only $59, get your AC ready for the summer heat. Just visit us at callapollo.com. That's callapollo.com.
Where strong opinions meet open minds. News Talk 830 WCCO 1029 HD2 Minneapolis, St. Paul. Streaming live on the free Odyssey app.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by O'Reilly Auto Parts.
I'm Cammie McCormick. Israel launched a surprise attack today on Hamas. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu.
At noon today, I convened the heads of Israel's security organizations and authorized a surgical precision strike on the terrorist chiefs of Hamas.
It's where the strike occurred that surprised many. U.S. ally Qatar. President Trump called that unfortunate. Here's Linda Kenyon.
White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt says the U.S. got a heads up.
The Trump administration was notified by the United States military.
Secretary Leavitt says the U.S. immediately notified Qatar.
The president views Qatar as a strong ally and friend of the United States and feels very badly about the location of this attack.
Qatar has been a mediator in efforts to end the war between Israel and Hamas.
CBS's Rami Inocencio reports it's unclear if the ceasefire negotiations would resume now.
These are uncharted waters. We do not know what will happen here if Israel, if the United States want to try to carry on with some kind of negotiations.
At the UN, Secretary General Antonio Guterres.
All parties must work towards achieving a permanent ceasefire, not destroying it.
The Trump administration has released a new Make America Healthy Again report. The 20 pages prioritize vaccine injuries and causes of autism. CBS medical contributor Dr. Celine Gounder.
Major medical reviews have already been conducted by respected scientific institutions. The Institute of Medicine, American Academy of Pediatrics, the CDC, and others have found no links between vaccines and autism.
The report was overseen by Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. It does not lay out any regulatory changes, but calls on government agencies to further research issues. A Senate committee heard today from Meta employees who said the company, which owns Facebook and Instagram, failed to protect children from online predators. Tech contributor Ian Scher.
One thing that concerned senators was this sense among whistleblowers that the company is trying to avoid recording and tracking information that could lead to bad press or government investigations.
Revised job numbers out today are signaling the economy is on shakier footing than what was thought. CBS's Kelly O'Grady.
This has already happened. This is a backward-looking report. So yes, the economy added less jobs than we originally thought, to the tune of almost 1 million jobs. However, that's already baked in. We didn't go into a recession.
On Wall Street today, stocks finished higher. The Dow was up nearly 200 points. The Nasdaq by 80 points. This is CBS News.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Minnesota's trusted voice every hour. Let's get you caught up with what's happening now on News Talk 830 WCCO.
Rainy, 66 at 5:03. I'm Taylor Rivera. This hour's top story: a Wayzata man convicted federally of threatening to kill a federal judge is once again charged with threatening to assault and murder a different federal judge.
Federal investigators say 72-year-old Robert Ivers printed off copies of a manifesto titled How to Kill a Federal Judge inside the Wayzata Library on September 3rd. The manifesto fixated on 2 federal judges, one who he had previously threatened to kill, and another judge who presided over his previous federal trial. Ivers threatened to kill the judges, their families, children, and pets. One page in the manifesto also spoke of killing children. His concerning behavior at an Episcopal church in Minnetonka on August 28th had also been reported to police. Ari Bergeron, News Talk 830 WCCO.
Ivers made his first court appearance this afternoon. Hundreds of Target workers are back downtown today as the company implements stricter in-person work requirements. Downtown businesses are looking to cash in on the influx of people filling up skyways and city streets. Paige Silber owns Silber Jewelry in the Godiva Commons.
I really do think, we're going to go back to old school times before COVID of how busy the skyways used to be. I think that people also have a little bit of hope in their hearts for Minneapolis to come back and recover. So they really want to support local businesses.
Minnesota Democrats last night naming Zach Stephenson as their leader in the State House of Representatives. The 41-year-old from Coon Rapids succeeds the late Melissa Hortman in that role. Stephenson was first elected to the Minnesota House in 2018. He gained attention in recent years when he was the DFL's point man behind legislation that legalized the recreational use of cannabis. Finally, some University of Minnesota unionized workers statewide beginning what they call a successive rolling strike.
Teamsters Local 320 says food service, custodial, and maintenance workers walked off the job at 10 o'clock last night at the Crookston and Morris campuses, and then early this morning in Duluth, Grand Rapids, Waseca, and Austin. Later today, the workers at the Twin Cities campus will begin their strike. The 1,400 employees rejected the university's latest offer last week, saying the deal did not meet their length of contract or wage demands. The university, in a post on their website, says they have plans in place to mitigate the effects of the walkout and that they continue to be open to negotiations. Al Shock, News Talk 830 WCCO.
WCCO News Time is 5:05.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
Things are slow for Cedar Avenue southbound Highway 494 down to Highway 13. Crosstown eastbound, got your slowdowns there as make way past 28th Ave. Head over to the Mendota Bridge, East 36, watching slowdowns from Snelling over to White Bear Avenue. 10 westbound's jammed up as moved past Foley Boulevard, heading up to Hanson. Trey Peterson, News Talk 830 WCCO.
Mnexspike COVID-19 vaccine mRNA by Moderna has arrived. To learn more and find it near you, visit mnexspike.com. That's MNEXSPIKE.com.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
Let's take a look at the forecast with WCCO TV Chief Meteorologist Chris Schaefer, brought to you by Moderna.
Will be mostly cloudy overnight tonight, falling back to 62. Call it increasing sunshine tomorrow. Warming up to 75. That's about average this time of year. Thursday looks pretty awesome. Mostly sunny with a high up near 80. Warming into the 80s, even getting a bit humid. Very summer-like Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Right now it's 66 degrees on News Talk 830 WCCO.
Hot stories, cool info, lightning fast, breaking news. News Talk 830 WCCO. He knows news. He knows talk. He knows nonsense, too. So get ready for a lot of each. This is Drive Time with DeRusha. Once again, here's Jason DeRusha.
Taylor, you were an intern at Target? Did you have to wear the red shirt and the khaki? Yeah. Have you ever gone to Target and accidentally wore red and had people ask you for help? No, never happened. That I'm not kidding. That did happen to me once. Someone came up to me and I had this ego moment where I'm like, hey, oh, yes, you do recognize me from the news. Hey, can you tell me where Houseware is at? Oh, rough. Welcome to Drive Time. It's Jason. Dan is here. I hear traffic. We've heard Jerry talking about traffic being brutal. My wife is on the way to the airport. She said it's terrible. An hour from Maple Grove to the airport. little bit of rain. Just is it the rain or is it the sea of red? The Target people are back to save us. I'm glad the Target people are back. Downtown Council posted, Dan, on their Instagram page, kind of a nice thing you'd want the Downtown Council to post, right? Like, showed like the sea of red, all the Targetrons walking around doing their thing.
Well, it's sort of their bit, right? To promote the downtown.
Yes. So like a normal thing to see. Comments. They don't want to be there. Forcing people to add unpaid commute time. You guys who have been working from home are the biggest babies in the face of the earth. My God. I am sick of being nice to the work from home crowd because they are the biggest whiners on earth. Unpaid commute time. Like that, like the rest of us had never paid to, never had to sit in traffic in our life. Also, I do an afternoon drive radio show. I need a little bit of traffic. Okay, I need a little bit of commute. You 23-year-olds did not invent having to pay for daycare, having to pay for parking. I know you think working from home is better, but I am convinced that the intense degree that people are trying to hang on to work from home is directly correlated to how much they know they're going to have to work harder when they show up to the office. I'm convinced. That said, I'll be doing my show from Chicago the rest of the week. I don't know. I'm glad the Target people are back. I wish they'd stay. But this is a good start. It's not just local people. It's a national conference going on. So the Star Tribune, with their live coverage on the homepage of downtown Minneapolis, a buzz, it's people from all over the country. So we'll see what it's like next week, but some of it cracks me up. Let's do the DRUSH Hour News Headlines, the lead.
The headlines you might have missed without missing a beat. This is your fast pass through the biggest and most impactful stories of the day. Welcome to the DeRusH Hour Headlines, starting with the lead.
And we begin with East Metro Schools, part of really an overall move of schools all around Minnesota and the upper Midwest, kind of re-envisioning and redesigning what their school environment is going to be like. Part of this is security, but part of this is just what happens when your school building gets old and you need a new roof and you need a new, furnace and water system. And once you tear it apart, then you have other decisions to make, as Vaughn Dirks from Wold Architects and Engineers joins us in studio to talk about, because when this starts, it does bring up this other opportunity, right, Vaughn?
Absolutely. It's, if you're in that process already of evaluating how do we have to just do basic updates, the things that we all have to do in terms of our homes where we live, what are you going to change about that? Are you going to put it back together exactly the same way? Or are you going to look at what's changed over the last 50, 60, 70 years and how do we adapt to that?
What are some of the biggest things that school districts are asking for that you guys are proposing and saying, all right, for the way kids learn today, this makes more sense?
I think the best way to think about it is the classroom is sort of that 30-to-1 module. It's one instructor, 30 kids plus or minus, but there's a lot of different formats and environments students learn in on the 1-to-1 area, small groups, 8, 10 students, even scaling up to the 1 to 100, multiple classrooms coming together and working. So we're looking at how are students learning in different types of areas. This is not the same as just chaos, open, self-guided learning. It's really what are the different formats they're doing and how are they going about doing it? And I think what COVID showed a lot of people is there's a lot of learning that happens just one-on-one with students electronically. And how can we create those environments they had to do at home within the school environment now and still keep that option for learning alive?
My kids went to elementary schools that were designed in the 70s. And even at that time, there was some experimentation with some weird design, right? Like the kids were in these rooms that have walls that didn't go all the way to the ceiling.
Yeah, that was a probably what I would call a bad architectural approach to doing things back then, the open floor plan. And a lot of people confuse what we're talking about now with that open floor plan. A good example would be work that we did in St. Francis a few years ago, where it was a high school designed on an open floor plan. And when we were rebuilding it from the inside, it was looking at how do we take what didn't work from that open floor plan and recreate it in environments that work today.
Security is obviously top of mind, specifically because of what happened in Minneapolis over the last couple of weeks. But this has been a topic for schools.
Topic for years.
Since Columbine, really.
Absolutely. It's a huge issue, one that we don't take lightly. And so we've worked with a lot of first responders, local law enforcement. A lot of what we do as a firm is public sector. So we work with those agencies as well in their projects and said, how can we incorporate these into schools so that the schools aren't designed like prisons, but they're designed to keep occupants safe during the day.
Part of this is, yes, the big headlines are when there's an attack from the outside. But as a parent who just had 2 kids graduate from high school, sometimes the threat is really inside. Some of it is garden variety fights and the sort of stuff that we all remember from when we went to school. But kids maybe are a little tougher today in different ways, right?
There's certainly an aspect to that. As one law enforcement agent who's a friend of mine from high school talked to me about, he said, facilities are about 10% of that. 90% of it is having a solid operation plan in place and knowing what to do during an instance.
What is the area that you're most excited about, a design feature? And I love that we're having this conversation because design and architecture is not just about where you put walls. It's really a sociological exploration of how we use spaces.
I think for me, one of the biggest things is we've moved so far beyond institutional design. Classrooms on both sides of a hallway, large cafeterias that are not unlike what you'd see, and just how can we get this many kids through in this short a time? But it's looking at how can we use just about every space in the building for education. I was one of those students that was pulled out of my classroom in elementary school, worked with an aide sitting on the floor in the hallway, reading books to them as an alternative to what my reading program was. Now we have spaces, small conference room areas, spaces directly adjacent to classrooms where you can see what's going on, you can work on people, and it's turning those into learning spaces. Treating cafeterias more like flexible eating spaces that have a variety of different areas so that when it's not a lunchroom from 10 o'clock to 1 o'clock, it can be used for other types of educational environments and students can work in there instead of going to a media center for a study hall, for example.
For you, as we talk with Von Dirks of Wold Architects and Engineers, you guys did Tartan High School in Oakdale, White Bear Lake High School. You get a chance to talk to these educators and be in these buildings. How do you feel about sort of where we are as far as the front lines and the thinking about what school and learning is going to be like for the next 10 years or so?
That's probably the most exciting part is we're talking about educational delivery systems and how are educators learning to teach students today and making sure that we're designing based on what those practices are and how they want to reach out to students, how students are going to learn, as opposed to simply saying we're replicating what's done in the past. Even though you've learned this great new way of instruction, you have to do it in this environment. And the reality is great teachers are always going to reach kids. That's not an issue. It's how does the building hold you back from doing what ultimately you could be doing with students?
Really good. Yeah, it's the obstacle. It's what is the building, what is the space stopping you from achieving that you would be doing anyway?
I think one of the things I'm really excited about is we're designing more things into schools for students to try what they might be interested once they graduate, whether that's going on to college, some type of post-secondary, or entering the workforce. A lot more spaces designed around career and technical education and exploration. So students in high school can try lots of different things and say, hey, this is something I might be good at, or I might be interested. How do I explore other areas of that? Because, for example, automotive, it might not just be how do I fix that? It could be how do I market this? How do I set up a business plan? What are the spaces that are adjacent to that? And how can I figure out how to maybe start my own business around this?
Great stuff. Von Dirks from Wold Architects. We appreciate it. Thanks for coming in.
Thanks for having me.
Very interesting to think about. You could think about it as the future of schools, but it's really the now. So many schools, whether it's size, right sizing your school to your population, having that opportunity. And as you add on, there's a big project going on out in my kids' former school district, Maple Grove High School. I was talking to Vaughn about that. He's like, yeah, we're doing that one too. So they do a lot of schools. And speaking of the schools, Edina Public Schools, in a time that we're all talking about mental health in young people, and a lot of it to me sometimes sounds like people saying what they think is the right thing to say. But Edina Public Schools are taking action, and the superintendent there, according to a story at KARE 11, has just added a new security program in the school. It is a Say Something Anonymous reporting system. So students, staff, and parents get new access to trained counselors 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. They can call or text this crisis center to report a wide variety of concerns. So it allows, this system is called ARS. Since they started out all around the country, more than 327,000 anonymous tips have been submitted. More than 5,300 students given assistance during a mental health crisis. They think more than 1,000 lives were saved. So pretty interesting stuff. One of the big challenges when you talk about mental health is the fact that students and parents are often afraid to call in a concern about another student. And so giving people, this isn't the answer. It isn't the answer. But is this some hope? Yeah, maybe so. The more ways we have to connect people with resources they need. Edina using this Say Something ARS, Elk River, Robbinsdale also using that. In a time where we're going to have a lot of conversations about security, one other way of keeping our schools safe is trying to make sure kids who need help are getting it. So this makes a lot of sense to me. That's the DRUSH Hour News Headlines, the lead. Coming up next, page 2. Page 2, where we will discuss an interesting controversy with political candidates and apartment building managers. I had no idea that they could come door knocking in your condo. A plant that lights up? And speaking of drugs, sounds like drugs. What part of the country are they finding more cocaine in the toilet flushing system than anywhere else? We'll talk about that next.
You're listening to Drive Time with DeRusha on News Talk 830 WCCO.
Pro Turf. That's the message. Pro Turf. It's professional turf. They take care of my yard. They take care of my landscaping. They can take care of you as well. Pro Turf is a Minnesota family-owned company. They've been getting it done since 1982. Awesome people. Trustworthy. When they tell you they're going to do something, they'll do it. When they tell you they're going to show up, they'll show up. And right now they have a heck of a deal. Because fall is it is truly, I've talked to tree experts because, haven't you? I mean, part of the weirdness of my job, I've talked to tree experts for a long time, and they all say that fall is the best time to plant new shrubs, new trees, new perennials because the soil is cooler, perfect for root development. The water, you don't have to flood it with water because it's not just sweating away. So these trees that you plant now have plenty of time to establish. They survive the winter and off they go in the spring. So why not? Let's go. Pro Turf will provide you with a professionally designed digital image of your new landscape before they start. These professional designs by certified designers are provided at no additional cost. So let's do the big project. Let's make your home your sanctuary. Let's do an outdoor living space like a paver patio or a driveway or a retaining wall or a pergola. Let's yank out some old trees or some old shrubs that look like garbage and let Pro Turf go to work. There's a special deal, too. Ask them about the free tree for CCO listeners. Professionalturf.com is the website. You can fill out a free estimate, and let's go. Tell them you heard it on CCO.
We're gonna win, we're gonna score.
When people think sleep apnea, they think CPAP. Now at Advent, we do all we can to help sleep apnea sufferers avoid the CPAP machine. And most sleep apnea sufferers who come to Advent are going to be able to avoid a CPAP altogether. Our unique Advent approach using simple in-office solutions can get your nose working and throat open all under one roof. You see, the root of every snoring and obstructive sleep apnea problem lies within the throat, nose, or both. At Advent, we know when we get the nose and throat working properly, most snoring and sleep apnea problems will subside. And we have the most simple and convenient, ultra-effective in-office solutions that can do just that. And this is why people have traveled by planes, trains, and automobiles from corners of the world you would never think of to find the sleep apnea and snoring relief you won't find elsewhere.
Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better. Most insurance accepted.
Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today. 1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Donate your car today at carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K. Your car, running or not, can be picked up as soon as the next day. You'll get a maximum tax deduction and a vacation voucher.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Now accepting donations of land, homes, buildings, or any kind of real estate.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/joy to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments including pills, chews, and more. 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy, HIMS.com/JOY.
You're listening to Drive Time with DeRusha.
Management should have pulled the plug. You don't even care that much about
No,
this
I
stuff.
love this stuff. It's mind-boggling. It's a beautiful thing.
But the people like it.
On News Talk 830 WCCO.
It's the name of my college band, by the way. DeRush Hour. That is, if I have a go-to joke, that is my favorite. DeRush Hour News Headlines. It's none of your business what we're talking about in the break. I accidentally told you people that how much money I'm spending on dinner tomorrow and just getting roasted. I deserve it. It's fine.
People are being reasonable and thoughtful and nuanced. And
we should, when we come back next week, when I'm back next week, do a segment on the stupid thing you spend money on. Because I don't buy season tickets.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
We all have stuff that other people look at us and go, "You really?"
Oh, yeah. I look at what people spend on Minnesota Vikings season tickets, and I freaking love the Vikings, but there is no way that I would spend that kind of money.
It's a good idea.
And I'm going to drop an absurd amount of money on dinner tomorrow night. Man.
Hey, congratulations to Keith and Lafayette who won the Twins tickets, by the way. So
see, Keith is cheap
absolutely.
I bet Keith has something he blows money on, though.
For sure he does.
And you could justify it because you just won a 4-pack of tickets right here. All right, here we go. DeRush Hour News Headlines. We start with a story that surprised me because I didn't know that this was a thing. Political candidates in Minnesota are allowed by law to go door knock inside apartments and condo buildings. That's what it sounds like. That's live listen to somebody door knocking. Come in. Fairly new law in Minnesota requires landlords. Star Tribune reports today, Dina Winter, landlords are required to let candidates in to knock on individual doors. And there are hours as well. Like the state law requires access between 9 a.m. and 9 p.m., which is kind of interesting because I live in an apartment building and the front desk isn't always kind of operated in that hour. So this is a dispute between Robin Wansley, the DSA candidate and incumbent for city council in Minneapolis, and John Wall. John Wall is the president of Wall Companies, and they are part owner of the flats at Malcolm Yards. The station at Malcolm Yards is near the University of Minnesota. So there are probably, 500 people in these two buildings. And Robin Wansley wants to door knock. The law says she can. The law says if building owners or managers violate the law, they can face a civil penalty of up to $5,000. This is going to an administrative law judge who will decide what the deal is. But certainly reading the back and forth between Wansley and Wall, I get it why. Like if I were John Wall, who does not support Robin Wansley, I wouldn't want to let somebody I don't support come in and knock on the doors in the building I own and have to figure out, like, she wants to be there from 7 to 9. I wouldn't want to do it either. But you know what I do want to do? Follow the law. And it seems pretty clear that the law requires us. We'll see what happens. But just because you don't like the candidate and you don't get to make a bunch of excuses, oh, I don't have any staff on duty, like, figure it out. A plant that lights up. This is the weirdest story of the day in the science section of the New York Times. It's a nightlight. It's a plant. It's a glowing succulent. By the way, glowing succulent.
Also the name of your college band.
So plants, plants are magical things, right? Like they feed us, they clothe us, they provide the very air we breathe. In fact, this weekend on Bay Lake, I got a tour of a number of participants in a gardening club they have up there, which is very nice. So plants do so many great things, but imagine a plant that also is like a nightlight. Researchers in a paper published today in the journal Matter, researchers created glow-in-the-dark plants. They injected synthetic materials into the tissues of living succulents, bionic botanicals that can be made to emit light in a variety of colors. It is cool. It's sort of psychedelic. You look at these things. If you're looking on the YouTube stream at WCCO Radio, you can see what I'm talking about. Now, like, is this the most efficient way to have a low-energy light bulb? No. But the fact they can do it, cool. This story did get me thinking about this other story that I read in the New York Post that said, well, and frankly, who would guess that the rich people in Nantucket are enjoying a little bit more cocaine than the rest of us?
If you wanna get down on the ground, cocaine.
Yeah. New York Post reporting a test on sewage on Nantucket Island, which, by the way, that's what they found. Cocaine levels at least 50% higher than the U.S. average. Levels of cocaine measured 15,000 nanograms per liter compared to the national average of 1,000. No, it's got to be 1,500. That's got to be a typo. 1,500 nanograms per liter compared to the national average of 1,000. Now, they did the testing between June 18th and July 28th, and you may know that Nantucket gets really the super rich and famous over the summer. Wealthy residents include Dave Portnoy, Ben Stiller, the CEO of Google. Experts say they'll do more tests in the winter when the locals are around. Fentanyl was lower than the average. I guess you know what it is. Drug testing in wastewater is still in its infancy. We've kind of learned a lot about being able to test the wastewater. That was sort of a COVID thing. Pretty accurate, pretty real-time data. Goes through your system, comes out of your system. That's the DeRUSH Hour News Headlines. Every day from 5 to 5:30, we bring you the biggest stories and then these. In just a minute, enough. Oh, do I have a list of things on the enough Docket for today. One occurred to me just before I came into work today. Something that just drives me crazy. What is driving you crazy? What have you had enough of? 651-461-9226. We'll share your beef when we come back.
This is Drive Time with DeRusha on News Talk 830 WCCO.
J.H. and Sons. Tell you, I haven't had enough of J.H. and Sons. We're talking today all over the news about more people coming back to the office. And J.H. and Sons should be your first stop to make sure you're looking good, you're feeling confident, and you're ready to work. J.H. and Sons says, hey, if you have not upgraded your wardrobe since before COVID, it's maybe time to freshen things up. And the beauty of going to J.H. and Sons at the Galleria in Edina is that they're real experts that can guide you to fashion that works for you, things that'll work for your price point. It is a specialty men's clothing store, so it is upscale, it is premium, it is the best. They dress me for all my events, all my suits, all my special kind of nights on the town where I want to look good. Go see Kevin or Bryce or Dean or Chuck or anybody over there at J.H. and Sons. They've been making guys look good in Minnesota for more than 50 years. Most of these guys have been working at the best men's stores in our state. They'll take care of you. Trust me. The service experience, once you go there, you'll never go anywhere else. It is top notch. Email list to find out about special sales and in-store events at jhandsons.com. But go to the Galleria in Edina, the best mall with the best store. J.H. and Sons.
Not listening to WCCO. Listening to WCCO is like turning on the lights. What room am I in? Because suddenly, everything makes sense. Is this even my house? We don't just tell you what's happening, we help you see it more clearly. News Talk 830 WCCO.
Looking for a dependable job with a great work-life balance? Join the team at Jefferson Lines. We're hiring professional CDL drivers to become part of our team of motor coach operators. Enjoy competitive pay, full health benefits, retirement benefits, travel perks, and more. We're already your #1 bus experience. Let us be your #1 work experience, too. Visit jeffersonlines.com/careers and take the first step towards your future with Jefferson Lines today.
Imagine placing an investment or trade without fear. Knowing that big institutions have taken the same trade as you, pushing the price higher, which only they can do. You get to ride the wave of institutional demand. If not, your plan will protect you from the downside. This is how our students are taught to invest in trade. Right now, you can sign up for a free investing class where we'll outline our strategy for following the smart money. Text investing to 210-210. We'll also review strategies for growing a retirement portfolio, how professionals profit when stocks are falling, and how to protect your investments against inflation. With a 25-year history, local classrooms, and one-on-one support, you're not alone. And now it's your turn. Sign up for a free investing class today. Text investing to 210-210 or go to learnwithota.com.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today. See representative for warranty details. Promotion is 20% off plus a 10% senior or military discount. One discount per household.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
We've got some slow stuff out there. Crosstown westbound included and move in from Hiawatha to 235W. If you're going to be traveling 494 eastbound, that's jammed up between France Avenue and Cedar Avenue. 494 northbound, watching slowdowns there as you move toward Baker Road all the way up to Medicine Lake Road, or rather Highway 55. North 169 is heavy from Highway 62 to Medicine Lake Road. 10 westbound still jammed up between Foley and Hanson. Trey Peterson, New Talk 830 WCCO.
Washburn McCreevy Funeral Chapels and Cremation Services has been providing compassionate and personalized service for over 160 years. Honor your loved one and ensure your own wishes are met. Call 612-377-2203 or visit washburnmccreevy.com.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
CCO forecast brought to you by Washburn McCreevy Funeral, Cremation, and Pre-Planning Services. Here is Chris Schaefer.
Will dry out tonight, keeping a mostly cloudy sky, falling back to 62. 75 the high tomorrow. That's average this time of year. We'll see more and more sunshine as the day wears on. Plenty of sunshine Thursday with a high up near 80. Highs into the 80s Friday, Saturday, Sunday. A bit muggy and summer-like as well.
Right now in downtown Minneapolis, just a little bit of drizzle, 69 degrees on CCO.
Jason DeRusha.
I like it fast. I like it.
You like it to clip along.
Like, let it rip.
On News Talk 830 WCCO.
I'm as bad as hell, and I'm not going to take this anymore. I have had enough. Enough is enough. Enough!
Enough! Oh, what have you had enough of? The big, the small. We want to hear it. Get it off your chest. It's not good to have that bottled up. I know we're in a good mood because of the Minnesota Vikings win yesterday, but I want to know, what have you had enough of? 651-461-9226. We welcome your calls. We welcome your text. You can always send us a voice message using the Odyssey app. We love those. You don't have to wait on hold, so you can call in whenever you want or send that message whenever you want. It comes right to the control room. So on the Odyssey app where you listen live to WCCO. My first enough happened while I went to pick up a prescription at Target today. I needed to get some shampoo. Did you get some? What are you laughing about?
No, I'm smiling because mine has to do with picking up a prescription as well.
Really?
So I'll be curious how close we are. Yeah.
So mine is not prescription related, but so I got the prescription. Then I thought, you know what I need? I need shampoo. And I guarantee you and I are not going to have this same topic.
No, because I haven't bought shampoo in 25 years. So
that's exactly right. In the men's grooming aisle, we get one aisle. Women have the makeup section. You got 47 aisles of various hair spray and serums and straighteners and curlers and whatever.
You going to do the poor guys can't catch a break? Is that what we're going to do?
The grooming industry believes that men are idiots because every freaking men's shampoo is a 3-in-1. 3-in-1. Because apparently we can't be trusted to use shampoo, conditioner, and body wash. It's 3-in-1. I don't want 3-in-1. I want 3. I want 3 things. I want shampoo, conditioner, and body wash. And there's a lot of freaking body wash. Also, you know what I don't need? 4,000 flavors of body wash. I don't need 36 Dove men variety of body wash. Also, where's the soap? Can someone tell me where in the store is the soap? I don't know. But it's fine. I use body wash. I'm a modern man. But I can be trusted. Like, do they think that men are so dumb we would get it out of order? It's like, well, I bet a guy like couldn't figure out shampoo first, then conditioner. I don't want all of it in one. 3 in 1. No, enough. I've had enough. Shampoo, conditioner, body wash. 3 products. We don't need to combine it. Do you go to the grocery store and get ketchup, mustard, and relish in one container because you're just going to squirt it all on your hot dog anyway? No.
Didn't they start doing the ketchup and mayonnaise in one thing?
We can handle it. I believe in the man of America. We can handle multiple products.
Sure we can. But I think we just don't want to be bothered. I think that's what they've clued into. Most of us are just like, just give me the one bottle. Well, clearly.
I want to be bothered. I don't think it's that difficult. And if we as men cannot handle that, honestly, what do we even do?
How many male friends do you have? Ballpark figure. 20?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you're right.
Yeah.
As a percentage of all of the men in your life, the men that you know, how many of them do you think legitimately could not handle 3 separate products?
Well, I would think like you're going to have to at least make like the shampoo bottles white and the conditioner bottles blue.
So it's a significant one. It's a significant percentage.
It's going to have to be big letters, big letters on there. Like, who started this? Who started I can see it. Like at some point, some brain wizard is like, look, this is going to be amazing. Because guys, like now you can shower quicker. I just believe we can handle 3 products. We don't need 2 in 1 shampoo, conditioner. We certainly don't need 3 in 1. It's just, it drives me nuts. Texters saying, what is wrong with the texters?
Some of them are unnecessarily angry.
People are so mad today.
They really are.
Pretty lazy example, Jason. What is lazy about that example? I've had enough of angry texters.
Who don't get the bit.
Oh, it's the same person like that. I wish they would light these up in the same letter so you'd know.
There you go. You could just mute the whole thing.
No one is convinced this really bothers you. I mean, do you only want my most serious thing? You know what really upsets me? Hunger. I've had enough of hunger. Dan, what have you had enough of?
I've had enough of murdering baby seals. So what I actually have had enough of. I had to stop at the drugstore, pick up a prescription on the way in today. And I don't know, maybe this is just me, but it happens way too often where you get in a line waiting to pick up your prescription and somebody is up at the front of the line and has to review their entire medical history, their spouse's entire medical history, their third cousin twice removed full medical history. Somebody down the block had a rash when they took this medication. Is this other medication? And it's like 10 minutes of this just absolute unnecessary delay. I just need to go up, pick up my prescription, pay my fee, and go. There should be like either a self-serve line or like an express line at the at the pharmacist, because I don't need to have an entire conversation about my entire life history with the pharmacist. I just need to pay for my pills and leave.
Yeah,
that's all. I've just had enough of people who treat it like a social lounge.
Yeah,
or are so hypochondriac that they
and
have
was
to
this
talk about 15
like where you slide over and talk the pharmacist scenario, or was that?
No, this was.
It's just
that's what it probably should have been.
Yeah,
but this is this. It's like
you go to like a old timey like.
No, I go to a CVS.
All right,
and there's 2 pickup stations, and thankfully they were both staffed.
Oh, there, got it.
That doesn't happen all the time.
Yeah,
but the one of them was just taken forever, and I've just had enough of waiting and waiting and waiting. Yeah. And listening to banal conversation from that just doesn't need to happen at that point. If you need to talk to the pharmacist because you're freaked out about the meds, I get that. There's a place to do that. Just get out of my way so that I can get my stuff and go. Thank you very much. I've had enough.
All right. That's fair. That's what enough is for. 651-461-9226. I've had enough of people I don't know who call me honey, sweetie, or dear.
Yeah, that's a little. What did the guy? Oh, the guy said something. Was it champ? He gave me one of those as I was leaving. Have a good day, champ. I'm like, what?
So I was thinking about this once because Dan, sadly, we are of the age now that like younger clerks are going to give us some sort of moniker.
Yeah.
And someone called me boss once.
Ooh.
I like that.
I use that one occasionally.
I liked it.
Sure.
Now, in my more abundant days, I would occasionally be called big guy.
Ooh.
Don't ever call
Don't
anybody
do that.
big
Yeah,
guy.
no,
Hey,
don't do
big guy.
Yeah.
All right, big guy. No. Now, I do think women have a different reaction to the honey, sweetie, or dear issue because when I have a friend who is a little younger than me who was telling me this story, and he was talking about how he referred to this woman as, I think, dear or sweetie or something. It was something along those lines. And he meant it in a nice way. But as I was hearing it, I'm like, oh.
I'm convinced most of the guys that drop those terms don't honestly see them as derogatory or demeaning or belittling.
Yeah.
But they're also completely oblivious to how they're being received.
Yeah, no clue. No clue. Now, a texter pointing out a scenario in which being referred to
Go
as
ahead.
big guy would be fine.
Sure. Go ahead and read that one.
I'm just saying that, I suppose I should have considered that.
I mean, it's a possibility for some folks,
Yeah. Yeah. I need a moment. Keep the text coming. Your calls are welcome. Your messages are welcome as well. Women hate being called sweetie. I would imagine. I could see where
I don't blame them a bit for
No.
And I'm not excusing it by saying I just
I think usually people don't mean ill intent.
Right.
It doesn't make it any better.
No.
You sort of should read the society.
Yes.
Right. But what is a term you would like to be called? Where you have a little bit of swagger after somebody refers to you as that. 651-461-9226. Lots of enoughs coming in. We'll share those when we come back.
This is Drive Time with DeRusha on News Talk 830 WCCO.
I was talking today to a friend who just made their first appointment at Tureen Dermatology. It's Jason here for my friends at Tureen Dermatology. And this friend of mine was saying, it's so easy. They called. You can do it online at TureenDermatology.com. You can call it 651-633-6883. And the promise is real. You are going to get in within 3 weeks. It's so unusual when you're talking about a dermatology appointment. And at Tureen Dermatology, they'll hook you up with medical care. They've got surgical care. They've got Mohs surgeons. I have so many friends who have had those Mohs surgeries that are serious business, but Tureen, they just know what they're doing. And they've got the cosmetic dermatology too. If you're looking for a skin peel or a laser treatment, they've got all of that for you because they care about your skin, and you should care too. I go every year for a full body skin checkup. I have a history of skin cancer in my family. There is a skin cancer issue here in Minnesota. We are, generally speaking, paler, and we also love spending time in the sun. Not a great combination. But go see the experts. They'll take care of you. Tureen is Tareen, dermatology.com.
Financial advice should be holistic and tailored to your life. I'm Ryan Antkowiak, financial advisor with Baird Private Wealth Management and the president of the Financial Planning Association of Minnesota. At Baird, we provide investment and financial planning advice for all areas of your life: family, retirement, estate planning, and charitable giving. Plus, we coordinate with your tax and legal advisors to ensure you have one comprehensive financial plan that makes sense for you. Discover the Baird difference. Visit BairdTwinCities.com.
You know that feeling when you're about to cut into a juicy steak and hope it tastes as perfect as it looks? Well, worry no more. The Chef IQ Sense is a wireless cooking thermometer that eliminates under or overcooking your chicken, fish, or meat, whether on the stovetop, oven, or grill. The probe is inserted into your food and connected wirelessly to an app. Once you select your desired doneness, the app alerts you when to take the steaks off the grill or the turkey out of the oven. It's that simple. Order one now on ChefIQ.com. That's ChefIQ.com. DriveTime.com.
Here's a few questions for you from California Psychics. Do your workdays seem to go on forever? Is your career progression as fast as downtown traffic? Or does your boss still not know your name?
Hey, you, Tina, Lisa, Sheila, whatever. Get that report to me by lunch, okay? It's Carrie, ma'am. Just get it done, Terry.
It's time to read the career warning signs and talk to California Psychics. We're always on hand to give you the career guidance you need. You see, we only connect you with the very best. In fact, 98% of the psychics who apply to work with us don't make the grade. That's why we can guarantee if your reading isn't life-changing, it's free. So you could soon be telling your boss where to stick that report.
Where are you going, Terry? Terry!
Experience the joy of certainty. California Psychics. Call 1-800-PREDICT today and get 20 minutes for just $20.
Hey friends, I'm Sharon McMahon, host of Here's Where It Gets Interesting. Each week I speak with authors, experts, and thought leaders on everything from American history and democracy to how to be a better person on the internet. And don't miss my extremely popular docu-series, which educate you on things you never learned in history class. Follow and listen to Here's Where It Gets Interesting on the free Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
Still got some slow stuff out there. North 169, Highway 62 to Cedar Lake Road, Highway 10 westbound still jammed up. As move between Foley and Hanson Boulevard, 694, watching slowdowns there yet as you make your way either direction between Highway 10 and 252. Jerry Peterson, News Talk 830 WCCO.
Hungry? Go to Dickey's Barbecue Pit of Egan for real Texas barbecue. All meats smoked fresh in-house daily. You can dine in, take out, have it delivered, or have your event catered anywhere in the metro. Just go to Dickeys.com. Dickey's Barbecue Pit of Egan, the Twin Cities catering leader.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
Forecast brought to you by Dickey's Barbecue Pit of Egan. Tonight we get down to 62. A lot of the rain is out of the Twin Cities area right now. Tomorrow, 75. Thursday, 79. 80s. Friday into the weekend. Right now, it is 67 and cloudy on CCO.
Broadcasting from the dailyagenda.com studios. This is News Talk 830 WCCO. Where do Minnesota insiders get their news in an informed way? Analysis and perspective that'll make you smarter at the water cooler. TheDailyAgenda.com.
Let's take the current temp of your Minnesota Twins. Brought to you by Chef IQ Sense. Save 15% with code word WCCO at checkout now at chefiq.com.
But we were also transfixed by the Vikings game last night. You may have missed that the Twins beat the Angels 12-3.
2-homer game for Royce Lewis.
How about that? It's pretty cool. This was a childhood dream for Royce.
Grew up in California, so this is kind of a homecoming for him. First time he's been able to play there.
Got about 30 people, 30 fans.
Yeah.
Of his family members in the crowd. Pretty cool.
He's had a pretty solid last month or so.
He
Hopefully
has.
that's him having figured something out.
And I was getting nervous. I think we all were. Like, is this it for Royce? No. So pretty cool. So temp of the team is, you know what it is.
Red hot, heading for that draft pick. I'm sticking with it.
I like it. Enough. As we get you up to Steve Thompson, I think we've had enough of this show. It looks like we only got about 30 seconds left. Somebody says enough that they didn't win the Powerball.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Enough. There are all sorts of things that people shouldn't call other people, I think. None of these I'm going to read.
Come on.
Very good. I am off the next couple days. Dan is filling in on Friday. Don't miss it.
If you're planning on selling your home soon, you need to be in the know on the changes to the real estate market and our economy so that you can sell it for the most money possible. Hi, it's Benita. With interest rate fluctuation, talks of a recession, you want to be fully informed. If you're thinking